97.9 K-Pod Country and online at kpodfm.com.
All the folks down in Lynchburg, Tennessee, been working hard for good old boys like me. I don't want to be the one to tell them that stuff that they've been selling ain't working like it should, but I damn sure wish it would. Whiskey's supposed to drown the memory. I've gone from one to one too many. And the thing that really gets me is how your memory drowns the whiskey. Maybe it's the bar or the stool I'm on. Maybe it's the band and the sad old song that keeps me buying rounds, that keeps me turning down any girl that wants to dance. You ain't giving them a chance. Whiskey's supposed to drown the memory. I've gone from one to one too many. And the thing that really gets me is how your memory drowns the whiskey. Touching you, whiskey's supposed to drown the memory. I've gone from one to one too many. And the thing that really gets me is whiskey's supposed to drown the memory. I've gone from one to one too many. And the thing that really gets me is how your memory drowns the whiskey. Yeah, the thing that really gets me is how your memory drowns the whiskey. All the folks down in Lynchburg, Tennessee, been working hard for good old boys like me.
Sorry, dudes, but we can't date if you wear Crocs. No, they're hideous.
97.9 K-Pod Country and online at kpodfm.com.
Looking back, all the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above. For a moment, all the world was right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain that I'd have had to. I held everything for a moment, wasn't I the king? But if I'd only known how the king would fall, hey, who's to say? You know I might have changed it all. And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the day.
It's time now for the Warrior Game of the Week, and it's brought.
Left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the day.
It's time now for the Warrior Game of the Week, and it's brought to you by Center Coast Hospital, serving our community with care. The Hyuchi Hamlet, gas, fishing, tackle, and snacks for your Wild Rivers adventure. Lisa McCowan, State Farm Insurance. Call Lisa when you want great service and State Farm Insurance. L&L Design and Construction. They love to support the Warriors. For construction work, call 465-6432. Co Central Credit Union, people helping people. And Freeman Rock, family owned, serving Curry and Del Norte counties. And now, with a pregame show, here's Mad Dog and John.
After a pair of overwhelming victories at home, the Del Norte High varsity football team returns to the road tonight, this time in Petaluma, where the Warriors meet the Trojans in a non-conference clash. Hello, I'm John Pritchett. He's John Horner. Mike O'Brien is at the studio, and welcome to the Warrior pregame show here on KPOD 97.9 FM and on DelNorteSports.com. Mad Dog, Del Norte is 3-0, coming off another impressive victory, rated number 2 in the North Coast Section Division 5 Max Preps ratings, playing a team that lost last week 59-0. Why does this game have a spooky feel to it?
Well there, John. There's going to be some slashing, some screaming, and possibly even some bloodshed tonight. It's a special Friday, the 13th edition of Warrior Football, and these two teams are about to go to war under a full moon in Petaluma tonight. Throw the records aside, John. We are in for a spectacular game tonight.
First time in 19 years we've had a full moon on Friday the 13th. Well, we're going to be back in a few moments with a preview of tonight's game and a look back at last week's win. We're broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. You're listening to Del Norte Sports.
There's more to the pregame to come. Follow the Warriors online at kpodfm.com or delnortesports.com. Broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. We'll be back with John and Mad Dog in just a couple of minutes.
Life can change in a heartbeat. A traffic accident, a sports injury, a heart attack or stroke. Suddenly, your world turns upside down. When you need attention quickly, turn to Sutter Coast Hospital's 24-hour emergency room. Skilled emergency doctors and nurses here offer compassionate and immediate care. Located in Crescent City, right off Highway 101, turn to Sutter Coast Hospital, serving the North Coast region for more than 30 years.
Freeman Rock is your complete source for landscaping products, including topsoil and soil amendments. Buying your products in bulk is the most economical and ecologically friendly. And Freeman Rock also delivers. Freeman Rock is open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday by appointment. Freeman Rock has supplied our communities with quality ready-mix concrete, sand, and gravel, and now landscaping supplies since 1976. Check out our new updated interactive website, freemanrock.com, or call 469-2444.
And now, back to the pregame show with Mad Dog and John on 97.9 FM, kpodfm.com, and delnortesports.com. Broadcasting live with Warrior Pride.
Welcome back to Petaluma High School, Ellison Field. We are high above the facility here. In fact, we are on top of the press box, and I'm holding on for dear life. A few minutes ago, Del Norte's junior varsity improved to 3-0 on the season with a 47-7 win over Petaluma, over the Spartans, in a game that was not as close as the final score would indicate. Del Norte dominated from beginning to end, starting off with R.J. Lofton scoring in a 5-yard run midway through the first quarter. That was followed a short time later as Connor Price scored on from 1 yard out. It was 13-0 after one. And then the onslaught continued. Caleb Dodson scored on a 39-yard touchdown run to make it 21-0. Petaluma got its only touchdown midway through the second quarter on a 50-yard touchdown pass. But Caleb Dodson had another 1-yard run, and it was 27-7 at halftime. In the third quarter, the Warriors extended the lead with Lofton hauling in a 25-yard touchdown pass from Price. Then Lofton, another touchdown pass from Price, this time for 45 yards out. And then Giancarlo DiSolini, a 12-yard run, our final score for the JVs, 47-7, as Del Norte improved to 3-0 on the young season.
I tell you what, third time we've got to see this JV team, and I tell you, tonight was the best they've looked so far. I mean, I think they dominated and performed very well in every facet of the game. They gave up that one fluke, about 40-yard touchdown pass to Petaluma, but other than that, they were chopping off 20 yards, 15 yards, 30 yards at a time, run, pass, screen. Del Norte executed very well. Very impressive win for that JV team.
Front line on both sides of the ball dominated for the Warriors. Well, last week in varsity action, Del Norte played host to LaSalle Prep from Milwaukee, Oregon, a team that most felt would challenge the Warriors. Falcons returned a number of quality players, had decent size, and a highly touted transfer quarterback, and it was a competitive game for exactly one quarter. The Warriors got on the board first with O.J. Kalea tossing his third touchdown pass of the season. Second down, ball on the LaSalle 14. No score. Kalea back to pass. Lobs it up, trying to hit Price. It's up there. He catches it. Touchdown, Warriors! LaSalle Prep responded with a scoring pass of their own a couple minutes later, and it was tied at 7 after one quarter. In the second quarter, well, it was all Del Norte. Chase Blackburn scored from 15 yards out to snap the tie. Kobe Mitchell then scored on a pair of 1-yard runs, and the quarter climaxed with this electric run with 42 seconds left in the half. Counterplay, finding room. That's Blackburn, cuts it around, going down the left sideline. Chase Blackburn, touchdown, Del Norte, 41 yards out. It was 35-7 at halftime, and the Falcons were left wondering what just happened. Del Norte called off the Dogs early with only Levi Cox-Cooling adding to the total with a 14-yard race to the end zone. The final was 42-7, and the Warriors' undefeated record was safe.
Del Norte was impressive and provided a great show for the Warrior faithful at home as they dominated in every facet of the game.
Offensively, Del Norte rushed for 328 yards on 43 carries and finished with just over 400 yards in total offense. That comes after a 394-yard effort in a 62-0 win over Wairika 2 weeks ago.
Well, John Blackburn turned in his best game of his varsity career. He picked up 117 yards on just 10 carries. According to Pritchett's math skills, we're a little sketchy sometimes. That is 11.7 yards per carry. Kobe Mitchell also cracked the 100-yard barrier for the second time in 3 games. And the team's leading rusher, Cox Cooley, chipped in with another 80 yards on 10 carries.
Del Norte did not have to pass much, just 7 times, but Kalea was efficient, completing 4 for 74 yards and a score. And once again, the Warriors played turnover-free ball. Their third game in a row without committing a turnover. In fact, Del Norte is now +6 in turnover margin this season.
Well, as good as Del Norte's offense performed, Del Norte's defense may have been better. The defense kept giving the Warriors offensive great field position. LaSalle had 2 running backs they thought would be effective. They weren't. The Falcons gained just 54 yards on 23 carries. Their leading rusher was actually their quarterback with 20 yards, and most of that came on a single play. It was a dominating performance.
You're listening to the Warrior pregame show on KPOD-FM and DelNorteSports.com. We're about 16 minutes away from kickoff here at Petaluma High School. So let's take a look at the Trojans, who are 1-2 coming into tonight's ball game. Petaluma lost its opener to Tampialis. Did I get that right? Tamalpais. The final was 27-19. Came back to bury rival Santa Rosa High, 53-34. Then got drubbed last week, losing on the road to a very good Foothill High team of Pleasanton, 59-0.
Well, I talked to Coach Nick White about that Foothill team. He says it was a really good team they played. And, that team being on the road did not help, the Trojans. The Trojans will be excited to be back at home and try to erase the loss.
Petaluma was 6-5 last year, reaching the NCS Division III playoffs before falling to Encinial 49-0. The Trojans had 7 players on the all Vine Valley Athletic League first team last year. 3 more were second-teamers and 4 honorable mentions in 2018. That's the good news for Petaluma. The bad news is only one of them returned. The only returning one is all-league offensive lineman Matt Sayers.
Well, one could say this is a textbook rebuilding year, but as we know, rebuilding is far from the Trojan seniors' minds. When you're a run-first type of offense, the rebuild may be accomplished mid-season, as the Trojans do like to keep it simple.
Petaluma is coached by Rick Christ in his 10th season as the Trojans general. After a slow start, Christ has had winning seasons in the past 5 years in a traditionally very tough league.
Well, like you said, John, this Petaluma team is no stranger to good opponents. They understand what it takes to win. The question remains, have these Trojan seniors had enough varsity playing time to put it all together?
Petaluma has a new quarterback in Jack Hartman, not the biggest player at 5'11", but a quality athlete who's completing more than 50% of his passes. His favorite target is senior Ryan Sullivan. Top rushers so far have been Joey Alioto and Dante Ratto, who together are picking up about 5 yards a carry. Trojans have some decent size up front. Despite the lack of returning All-Stars, do feature a roster that has 20 seniors.
Well, Petaluma has almost as many seniors as Del Norte has players on its entire roster. Coach Nick White and his staff are expecting to suit up 20 Warriors tonight. Del Norte faced a similar situation last week against LaSalle Prep. The difference tonight is that the Falcons were a young team, starting 5 sophomores. Petaluma has just 1 sophomore on its entire roster.
We talked to Del Norte head coach Nick White, about the challenges of playing with a limited roster and other matters of note in this week's edition of KPOD's Coaches Conference.
It's challenging in a couple ways, but it just means multiple kids get to play multiple positions, so the kids are actually playing more, which is great for them. And then, if the kid goes down, another one's ready to step up because they're ready for that role.
Coach, it's going to be about 90 degrees at kickoff tonight. Have you been able to prepare the kids a little bit for that, get them hydrated during the week?
Yeah, it's been beautiful in Crescent City, so that's our preparation. No, it's, no excuse. We drink water, come out and play hard, no excuses.
So far, 3 games and no turnovers. In fact, you're +6 on turnover margin. That tells me it's something that you guys are coaching up, specifically ball security.
Right. We take risks when we need to, but for the majority, the kids are carrying the ball well. We take our chances, and they're calculated chances when we do. So its percentages are definitely in our favor. So I think that has to do with us having 0 turnovers, and also our defense is ball hawk, and they go after the ball, and we're doing a great job on D.
Coach, coming up is a team that's 1-2, coming off a big loss, but now they're home. You've had a chance to look at the film, which is kind of nice after 3 straight games of their first game. What have you seen about this Petaluma team?
Yeah, it's great. We actually got the game plan this week and get together as a staff and make our game plan, and then put it in play in practice, and we'll see how the kids execute. They run veer, triple option, kind of like Fortuna does. So first chance we get to see a running team this year, and we're looking forward to the opportunity.
We talked about your lack of turnovers. On the flip side of that coin, the number of penalties. I know it's something you want to address. And how do you get the kids to react the right way?
We just keep playing, keep grinding. We get penalties, but we also can sustain drives through the penalties, which we're lucky. But we're trying to cut down on the penalties, but you also don't want to take away how aggressive our kids are, because they're super aggressive, and the referees might not be used to how physical we are up front.
The big question, Coach, you're playing on Friday the 13th and a full moon. How superstitious are you?
It's going to be a very lucky night for us.
I like that answer. Coach, thank you very much. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Head Warrior coach Nick White on the Warrior pregame show. We talked a little bit with Coach White about the weather. We thought it was going to be about 90 degrees at kickoff. Right now, it's actually a little bit below that. Right now, it's 86. And so it'll probably be closer to 80 when everything's said and done. Still, for Del Norte, that's going to be a strange experience.
Absolutely, and it was a ride down here that was going to be warm. And the last 2 hours, I seen them sitting in the shade over here, making sure they get hydrated. But come game time, we're looking at about 75, 80 degrees. The sun's gone down over the hills. The field is nearly all in shadow, so it should be not too bad come game time.
A little bit breezy up here, high above the press box.
We're 10 feet off the bleachers.
It's a long ways up. Actually, more More apropos, it's a long ways down.
Oh.
Mad Dog and John with you here on the Warrior pregame show. And let's talk about Del Norte's offense for a second. And that offense is an interesting juxtaposition. It's a team able and willing to play smash mouth football, but at the same time loves to run the misdirection that can make defenses look foolish.
Well, John, it's been fun to watch this offense at work with the counters and the quick dives being run to perfection. This offense can make an opposing linebacker dizzy trying to stay up with the backfield and what's happening, which opens up the secondary for big plays. And O.J. Kaleha has done a fantastic job in making teams pay when they stack the box.
Levi Cox-Cooley and Chase Blackburn have both been very productive at the tailback spot. Both are averaging better than 8 yards a carry. And just when a defense starts to focus on those two, along comes fullback Kobe Mitchell, who is one of those backs that is always picking up that all-important yak, yards after contact. He's averaging just a mere 7.4 yards per carry.
Well, now let's get rid of the real reason why these running back crew is so good. It's my boys up front. This misdirection, rollout, and bubble screens look really good, and it is all made possible by the beasts up front. That's Slayton, Faulkner, King, Showerman, and Timmy Thompson are doing their part up front, making this backfield much easier to roam around in.
And you mentioned it, quarterback O.J. Kalea has done exactly what he's been asked to do. Manage the game, run the offense, hit the passes when needed. He's 16 of 22 through the air this season, good for 284 yards, 3 TDs, and I think most importantly, 0 interceptions.
Well, Del Norte has not turned the ball over once this season. That is the surest way to put yourself in position to win games. Limit turnovers and cause turnovers by the opponent. The Warriors have done that superbly this season.
Defensively, we knew Del Norte was going to be rugged in the trenches and at linebacker. What was in question was the defensive backfield. However, last week, cornerbacks Gio Gonzalez and Nick Freeman did well in coverage, and Caleb Price has turned into a hitter from his free safety position.
Well, Del Norte's defense has passed many of the tests this season, including defending a quality receiving crew in Moreau Catholic and a great quarterback in LaSalle Prep. The question on how they do against the run-first offense will be determined tonight. This linebacking crew, led by Slayton and Faulkner, will be vital in calling out formations and lane assignments in this run-first Trojan offense.
Well, we'll be back with the starting lineups and keys to tonight's game after this. We're broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. You're listening to Del Norte Sports.
There's more to the pregame to come. Follow the Warriors online at kpodfm.com or delnortesports.com. Broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. We'll be back with John and Mad Dog in just a couple of minutes.
Life can change in a heartbeat. A traffic accident, a sports injury, a heart attack or stroke. Suddenly, your world turns upside down. When you need attention quickly, turn to Sutter Coast Hospital's 24-hour emergency room. Skilled emergency doctors and nurses here offer compassionate and immediate care. Located in Crescent City, right off Highway 101, turn to Sutter Coast Hospital, serving the North Coast region for more than 30 years.
When you choose L&L Design and Construction, it's a game changer. They can do it all. New home construction, remodels large or small, garages and manufactured home site development. They're local, reliable, and love this community. When it comes to design and construction, choose the LaFazio family at L&L, proud supporters of the Del Norte Warriors. Start planning for spring today. Call 707-465-6432, license number 931605. And now, back to the pregame show with Mad Dog and John on 97.9 FM, kpodfm.com, and delnortesports.com. Broadcasting live with Warrior Pride.
He's Mad Dog. I'm John here on KPOD 97.9 and on delnortesports.com. We're about 9 minutes away from the kickoff. Warriors and Trojans from Petaluma High, Ellison Field, a beautiful facility, first rate. And it's a pleasure to be here. A 5.5-hour drive for the fans. A nice contingent of Warrior faithful have made the trip, and hopefully Petaluma will get a few more fans in the stands before kickoff.
Well, I'm hoping it might be the traffic or something, John, because they do not have many stands here. I think Del Norte, a couple of the JV players come out, we might have more than them on our side.
Speaking of JVs, Del Norte won 47-7. Was the final as the junior varsity goes to 3-0 this season. That brings us to the varsity starting lineups, brought to you by DelNorthSports.com with schedules, update, and podcasts. Check out DelNorthSports.com. And on offense, we'll start with the big guys up front. On the right side, the guard is number 57, Tanner Forkner. He's a junior, 5'10", 205. The tackle, the sophomore, the disruptor, number 54, Sam Showerman, 5'11", and a stout 250. The center is three-year starter, Luke King, number 76. He's 5'11", 265 pounds. Carrying on a family tradition, his older brother was a three-year starter at center for the Warriors. On the left side, the guard is Anthony Slayton, senior, 6'2", 220, number 56. And number 55, Timmy Thompson, senior, 6'1", 240. The tight end is number 8, senior Connor Long, 6'4", 200 pounds. He's got 2 catches so far this season. Wide receiver is Caleb Price, 6'5", 200 pounds, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. Levi Cox Cooley is your starting tailback. He's a junior, 5'8", 175 pounds. He's the team's leading rusher this year with 311 yards, 4 TDs, and an 8 yards per carry average. The fullback is rugged Kobe Mitchell, senior, 5'11", 215. He's second on the team in rushing, 253 yards, 7.4 yards per carry. And the quarterback, O.J. Kalea. Split starting time last year with Ethan Price. He's the man this year, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's number 12. He's completed 16 of 22 passes, 72%, almost 73, 284 yards, 3 TDs, and 0 interceptions.
Well, I tell you what, this Warrior offense has done nothing but good things this season. Done a great job. I think the biggest key for the Warrior offense this week is try to clean up those penalties on the offensive line side of the ball. But I'm really watching the Connor Long tonight, and I'm thinking they really need to work him in to make sure he stays present in this offense. I believe down the stretch in big games, we may have to lean on Connor a little bit in that spot. I like to see the Warriors go to more of that tonight.
Last week, Coach White called Connor Long the start of the season's biggest surprise in a positive fashion. On the defensive side for the starters, the ends, Kobe Mitchell and Timmy Thompson. Inside, the tackles, Showerman and Luke King. The linebackers are all tough. Outside, Cox Cooley and Chase Blackburn. Inside, Tanner Forkner and Anthony Slayton. Cornerbacks, number 35, Nick Freeman. He's a senior, 6'1", 175. And number 2, Gio Gonzalez. He's a senior, 5'7", 165. The safety is Caleb Price. And he's, as we mentioned, he's been willing to really lower the boom on some wide receivers coming across the middle.
You know, I've kind of criticized Caleb Price in not only football and basketball in the past couple of years, but I can tell you what, this year I give him mad props. He's came out and played a lot harder and much more aggressive.
The safety is Price, as we mentioned. Kicking for Del Norte, Kenji Adams-Lee. He's a senior. He's 11 of 11 on extra points this year. Adams-Lee will also serve as the punter. He averaged 44 yards on 2 punts last week. The deep snapper is Anthony Slayton. On extra points, the holder is O.J. Kalea. Returning kicks will be Blackburn and Cox Cooley on both kickoff return and on punt return. Those are your starters for Del Norte High, and the starters are brought to you by DelNorthSports.com.
You know, like I talked about in the pregame show, you know, it's really big that front four, this is going to be the first team that's geared run first. Del Norte's front four has got to stay assignment football up front, and they got to make sure they cover the gaps. Look for Slayton and Forkner to dictate how that works. So I'm really interested to watch the middle of the field tonight against this run-first kind of offense.
Let's take a look at action last week involving Big Four conference teams. Del Norte was beating up LaSalle Prep 42-7 to go to 3-0. Also going to 3-0 was St. Bernard's, who took care of business at home Saturday, beating Arcata 49-8. Mad Dog, interesting game tonight as St. Bernard's travels all the way to the Portland area to face those same LaSalle Falcons Del Norte played last week.
Well, don't be surprised to see a much closer game than we saw last Friday in Crescent City. That was LaSalle's first game of the season, and at times looked exactly that. They were playing their first game of the year. They do have some quality athletes, and those long road trips can be really tough if you're not mentally ready for it. St. Bernard should win, but don't expect a blowout. I have my dad, you know, he watches a lot of football. He's got LaSalle Prep by 21 tonight.
Yeah, well, I'd take that bet.
Okay, we're going to see.
Okay.
We're going to watch Max Prep, see if we can get updates, and good luck to St. Bernard's, though. We always like to see the Big Four win.
Fortuna broke into the win column Friday with its 29-12 victory over Kelseyville. The Huskies are now 1-2 this season, and it should even its record as they play host to Ferndale in the rivalry game for the old bucket?
Milk can.
Milk can. Falling to 0-3 was Eureka, as it was tipped by Foothill of the Central Valley area. The final was 14-10. Tonight, the Loggers are just up the road from here in Santa Rosa, facing Danny Mays' alma mater, Montgomery High. Mad Dog, you believe that Eureka has played by far the toughest slated games in the conference?
Absolutely, and I believe Eureka is far from being the number 8 seed in North Coast Section Division 5. The 3 losses were against very quality opponents, and one of the losses against Placer turned around and took Cardinal Newman to the last second. So it just shows that Eureka is right at the top of Division 5, but starting 0-3, they can't afford to lose too many more games and still make the playoffs. So it's going to be key for them to get a couple crucial wins in the next couple weeks before they hit in the league. And when you talk about Fortuna, Coach Bimbo, I can't bet against him at the end of the season. He's struggling here off the get-go. Got a win against Kelseyville that he knew he should have won, but he didn't think his team played all that well. But I really look for them to make a spark towards the end of the season.
In games involving Delnor opponents past and future, Mazama High of Klamath Falls opened its season with a 40-0 win of Ontario of Eastern Oregon. The Warriors travel to Mazama, Falls, next week for a renewal of what has turned into a really good non-conference rivalry. Wairika is now 0-2 after a 45-21 loss to South Umpqua. Moreau Catholic was beat by small school powerhouse Salesian 35-19. Moreau Catholic, last year's Division IV runner-up, and the team Delnor beat to open the season on the road, is now 1-2. Winless Trinity Valley, who Delnor plays later this season, dropped to Tecolosa 40-6.
And last season, when Delnor controlled Mazama at Mike Whalen Field, that was when the Warriors and the rest of the conference knew Delnor was for real. Mazama lost just 2 games last season to Delnor and to another standout team, Marshfield of Coos Bay.
Brookings Harbor defeated Gold Beach easily last week. Expect a tougher challenge this week for the Bruins as Brookings Harbor travels north to take on the Bandon Tigers. And that brings us right back here to Petaluma, California, and the time for Mad Dog's keys to the game. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball.
The key for Del Norte is going to be stack the box. Let's make this team uncomfortable and try to throw outside. If they try to test us on the outside, I think it's going to be important that we put pressure up the middle to make them get out of their comfort zone. Look for Del Norte to blitz on the corners and contain the inside. And I think the key to the defense is lane assignment up front.
How about on offense?
On offense, it's going to be turnovers once again. If we don't turn the ball over and we hit that 4 or 5 yards of crack on the offensive side, it's going to be a long night for the Trojans because Del Norte is very good at that. The only way that Trojans get to Del Norte here is that they fall behind, right, and then they have to pick up the pace at the end and have to do something they don't want to do. But I don't see Del Norte falling behind like that. I see Del Norte leaning against them. But the keys to the game for Del Norte, cut back on the penalties.
That's crucial.
It's got to be cleaned up, John.
The Warriors have committed more than 100 yards of penalties in each of its first 3 games. So far, it has not cost Del Norte any wins, but if it keeps up, it will.
You play Moreau Catholic in the playoffs. You play Eureka in the playoffs. You play Encinal in the playoffs. You can't have that many penalties and lose that kind of field position. It's going to be super important that Del Norte marches down the field without those penalties so they stay in run kind of downs.
Captains are at the center of the field right now. They tacked on a couple extra minutes to the pregame on us. Earlier, we've gotten a report that Del Norte's volleyball team, which is playing across the hill at Red Bluff, went 1-3, I believe, with 1-3 or 1-4 at the Red Bluff one-day tournament with some more games coming up. Del Norte will play at home. That's going to be Tuesday in Tunin Gymnasium, a chance to avenge a loss last Tuesday to Brookings Harbor.
Absolutely, and I look for that volleyball team to improve every game. It's a very young squad, just a couple seniors, and there's actually a couple freshmen playing on the team. A lot of rebuilding going on with the volleyball team. Sarah Levi is I have faith in her that she can turn that season around and get some wins during league. But I tell you what, Arcata looked really good in Wairika. Talking to a couple of the players, it's going to be the team to beat when it comes to the Big Five.
Trying to get a look at who's going to be receiving and who's going to be kicking off to start the game. Del Norte won the toss and elected to defer. So it will be the Warriors on defense first. Del Norte will be in its road white uniform with the little bitty small numbers and with the blue helmets and blue pants. The Trojans of Petaluma in their all purple outfits. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Well, we had the start of the national anthem for a second. Now they got to reset it. Here we go. No, we're going to wait again. Mad Dog, you want to sing?
So we'll wait for them.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Both stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. On the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay.
That's called improv right there.
Yeah.
That's a man taking the mic and getting it done right there.
That was the PA announcer here at
You gotta love it, right? You gotta love it.
When the recorded version of the national anthem would not play, he stepped right up and a original rendition, a spirited original rendition, some new lyrics as well. But I have a feeling he probably has wanted to do that his whole life.
He got that
saw
chance
the
right
opportunity and jumped on it.
Pritchard, you do the same thing.
I will. Oh, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
What a beautiful night of football. We're waiting for that harvest moon to come up.
86 degrees here in Petaluma as the Warriors.
The wind kind of died too.
It was pretty breezy here to start during the JV game. But now it has settled down. Petaluma's field goes north to south. It's an artificial turf field. It's a little hard. I got a chance to walk on it, and it's harder than most turf fields that we run across.
Yeah, I took a couple cuts out there and dove into the end zone a couple times. You're right.
That explains the dent.
Yes, that's right. Oh, John, I love you. You should have recorded me taking my cuts, though.
I should have. Back deep for Petaluma is number 3. That's Jack Hartman, who's also the quarterback. He's also the punter.
He's one of those Heelys that does everything and the
He does. He'll sell popcorn. Kenji Adams-Lee will be kicking it deep. We'll see what Del Norte's strategy will be, whether they do kick it deep or they try more of a squib kick. And we are underway. The Warriors 3-0 versus the 1-2 Petaluma Spartans. Ball taken on the 20. A couple tackles broke before, I believe that's Connor Long, horse collars the would-be runner. That is Connor Long with the tackle at the 26.
On the tackle.
What a great job by Connor. He's like the kamikaze on the kickoff. He's always flying down the field.
We know that Petaluma will want to run the ball. That's what they do. Very similar in temperament to Fortuna. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Spartans at the 27-yard line. Jack Hartman is the quarterback. Twin running backs split behind him. Warriors showing blitz. Handoff, first man through. Fumble. And Warriors are saying they got it. Let's see what the white hat says. He says Del Norte has it. Warriors get the ball. An early mistake by the Trojans.
Landed on top of it was Timmy Thompson with a big fumble recovery right there. It was a fake handoff on the dive, and they went to belly it out to the end, and the quarterback just lost the handle.
Warriors now +7 in turnover margin this season. 1st and 10 for the Warriors on the Petaluma 24-yard line.
Not how the Trojans wanted to start this one.
Luke King goes under center. Man in motion. That's Cox Cooley. He gets the ball going around the left side, escapes one tackle, and ends up getting inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Gain of 6 is going to be 2nd and 4 coming up.
Great job by Cox Cooley, being patient. He goes around the end. They sealed to the outside, and he cut it back up on the tackle spot. And that play has worked very well for the Warriors. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of push by that front line.
And no penalty flag.
No penalty flag.
2nd down. Man in motion. Handoff, dive right up the middle. That's Kobe Mitchell. He's at the 5, and he gets brought down there. 1st down, Warriors in the red zone.
Good for 13 yards in the carry. Mitchell didn't get touched for the first 9. He could have drove a truck through that hole right up the middle. The line's opposing their will up front already.
Left side of the line, Slayton and Thompson paving the way for the senior, Kobe Mitchell. 1st and goal from the 5. Price goes out wide to the right. He's got 2 touchdowns this year. Pitch play, Mitchell running behind the line. Did he get in there? They say he is stopped inches from the goal line. It'll be 2nd and goal from inside the 1.
That's that pitch back, and OJ leads the block, leads the play. I love that play when he pitches back to Mitchell, and then he's the lead blocker. That's a quarterback right there.
Del Norte has relied on Mitchell in this situation all season. Let's see if they do it again.
He's definitely the guy you want in your fantasy team.
Instead, it will be.
It is.
It is Mitchell, and he scores easily. Del Norte cashes in on a Petaluma turnover to start the game, and the Warriors jump on front with 10-12 to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 pending the extra point.
And I'm sitting here watching this, right? So it's from about the 1.5, 2-yard line. And by the time that play ended, every one of the players on the front line was in the end zone. So that means the Del Norte front line pushed everybody into the end zone. That was very impressive.
Here's Kenji Adams-Lee trying to go to 12 for 12 on extra points. There's the snap. It's good. There's the hold. It's good. There's the kick. It sails deep into the air, and it is also good. Warriors take advantage of the turnover, and with 10-12 to go here in the opening stanza, it's 7-0 over Petaluma.
And that touchdown brought to you by L&L Design and Construction. For home and remodels and new construction, call 707-465-6432.
Warrior Athletics also brought to you by members of the legendary Sportscasters Club, which includes McPherron's Tax and Bookkeeping Services for tax, bookkeeping, and payroll services. Lucky 7 Casino, they're #1 for fun. Echo Nutrients, local organic fertilizers for the backyard gardener in you. Crescent Cabinets. Do you need new cabinets? We'll call Crescent Cabinets. It's right there in the name. McDonald's. Listen to the game, then go buy McDonald's. Well, I'm loving it. And Humboldt Moving and Storage. Make a professional move with Humboldt Moving and Storage.
Quite a student section down there, but they're all standing but awkwardly are silent. Like they are waiting for something big to happen, John.
Here's Kenji Lee's kickoff. It's going to be taken at the goal line. Maybe at the 1. It's Hartman coming around the left side, finds a little bit of room, and then gets engulfed by a squadron of Warriors. Thompson's in there, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for Petaluma at their own 24-yard line.
Petaluma's going to give this another shot here. First play from the line of scrimmage last time was a fumbled play by the quarterback. We'll see if they can get something going, but interesting crowd here. That was almost like a golf clap at the end of that.
Not a lot of fans here.
And not a very rowdy crew either.
I'd
Definitely
say
not cowbells like the HDN.
about 125 fans made the trip. So Hartman hands the ball off to the second running back. That is Dante Ratto, and he is quickly taken down for no gain.
So they faked it to the first guy. They tackled him. They handed it to the second guy, tackled him, and we had somebody tackle the quarterback. 3 people got tackled on that play by the Warriors.
Faulkner with the tackle, and it's going to be 2nd and 10.
They left no doubt there, John. Whoever was going to get it, they were going to take down. Del Norte just absolutely manhandling up front.
Friday the 13th, and so far it's only been spooky for the home team from Petaluma. 2 receivers go out wide to the right, split running backs behind Hartman. Warriors showing blitz. Here they come. Pitch play to the left and quickly swallowed up by is Ratto. Nice play by Del Norte's defense.
Thompson.
Making the tackle, Timmy Thompson. It's going to be a loss back to inside the 22. And it's going to be, correction, it's Alioto.
They're going to have to go outside. They're going to have to do something. Del Norte blitzed Slayton and Fortner in the A gaps, and then the outside just absolutely swallowed up the running back. Del Norte's front six right there are just swarming the ball.
7-0 our score. Del Norte in front. 8:44 to go here on the road for Warriors. And we got offsides. I believe Del Norte jumped.
Looked like Blackburn over here on the outside linebacker spot.
Waiting
Got
for
a little too antsy.
Offside, Del Norte. First penalty of the game for either team.
So basically, what Del Norte's doing is they're blitzing the middle linebackers, and they're in this situation where they're not. Caleb Price is up front in the box also, and they're going to play one-on-one coverage to the outside and bump and run and make them beat you down the field.
So instead of 3rd and 13, it's now 3rd and 8. Press coverage, and Del Norte jumped offside again.
Timothy Thompson this time on the other side.
Warriors just too eager to disrupt the Spartans. I'm sorry, the Trojans.
The Trojans. You said Spartans a couple times. I was going to get you.
Spartans, Trojans, these are all...
Look at the mascot out in the middle. That could go either way.
Yeah. Petaluma. The purple-clad Petaluma Trojans. 3rd now and 4. Sweep coming around this side by Hartman. He gets away from one would-be Del Norte tackler, but cannot get away from the second. It's going to be 4th down. And at the bottom of the pile for Del Norte, looks like Thompson again.
Thompson and Blackburn right there. Blackburn did a great job of staying with the option man, which was the quarterback, and making sure he didn't have a chance to get outside.
So Hartman is also the punter. Blackburn goes deep for getting ready for the punt. Ball at the 32. Waiting for the snap. Still waiting. There it is. Hartman gets off the kick. Side spinner that's going to kick out of bounds at about the 40-yard line of Del Norte. So
Hartman's punt goes out of bounds.
a 28-yard punt, no return.
Not a bad directional punt by a high school punter right there.
Just didn't go very far.
That's 30 yards. Not too bad.
Del Norte takes over 1st and 10 with 7:20 to go first quarter, leading 7-0 on the Sutter Coast Hospital scoreboard. Warriors trying to improve to 4-0 on this season as first-year head coach Nick White tries to go to 4-0 to start his coaching career.
Absolutely. Coach Nick White's done a great job at this crew. They executing very well.
Kalea goes under center, man in motion. He gets it. That's Cox Cooley, I believe. And he's going to get it to near the 45.
You there, Jared? Are you there? Okay, we're back? All right, we're back.
Well, we're sorry about that. We got unplugged.
Downstairs.
I won't tell you by who. Warriors still have the ball. It's now at the 45-yard line of Petaluma. It's going to be 2nd down and 6.
Gonzalez just had the carry for 5 yards up the middle. I missed the last play, but it was for 10 yards. So Del Norte still marching down the field and doing a great job.
6 minutes to go first quarter. Del Norte up 7-0 on the Sutter Coast Hospital scoreboard. Kalea under center, man in motion. Handoff up the middle and near the 40. That's Kobe Mitchell. And it's going to be third down and a long one. Make it 2.
Gianni Johnson on the tackle.
Del Norte doing a great job pushing the ball down the field, long drives. This is the 7th play of the drive, so Del Norte doing a great job on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard. 5:20 left here in the first quarter. Del Norte is leading 7-0.
Warriors break the huddle. Caleb Price goes out wide to the left. Stacked formation, pitch play coming right up the middle and getting the first down for Del Norte past the 40 to about the 36-yard line. And that is Levi Cox-Cooley.
Cox-Cooley, great run, followed his blockers very well to the outside, right behind his tackle, good for 6 yards.
And I like the fact that he focused on getting the first down rather than trying to break a long run. Get the first down first, then look for green grass.
Absolutely, got the first down, just kind of leaned forward for the other 2 yards.
Same formation as before, split running backs, offset behind Kalea. He pitches it out to Mitchell going around the left side. First down and more. Penalty flag flies, however, near the first down marker. He gets knocked out of bounds at about the 18, but I have a feeling this is going to wander back a ways.
Pitch goes out to Kobe Mitchell for a big game.
Nice play by Kalea, who got the pitch out just as he was going down.
That was a great job by Kalea, but it's going to be a holding penalty against the Warriors.
Holding happened at the looks like the 21st, and that'll be where they mark it off from. So Kobe's going to pick up
about 4 yards.
About 4 yards when everything's said and done.
Big drive here for the Warriors. Let's see if we can push the ball down the field and get a score here. 2 scores in the first quarter, and the Trojans only having maybe a couple plays would be great recipe for the Warriors.
4:30 to go in the quarter. 7-0. Del Norte in front. Cox-Cooley has the ball faked to him. Kalea gets it, and he is going to throw the ball, and it's almost picked off.
Great job getting rid of it, but the wrong place to throw it in the middle of the field.
And Kalea, and I'd say that's the first time all season we've seen him make a real mistake throwing the ball.
Absolutely. One of the first times he had that much pressure, though, also. So Trojans dialing up the pressure. That was the defensive end, number 7. That was Zarko for the Trojans, applying the pressure on OJ. Caleb Price did a great route, but with OJ on his heels, no way he was going to throw that 40 yards.
Price comes wide to the right this time, the 6'5" junior, man in motion. Handoff, first man through. That's Kobe. Mitchell. He's got room at the 15, at the 10, and gets tripped up at the 5-yard line, but there is a penalty flag at the line of scrimmage.
But there's another penalty flag on the field.
Holding Del Norte.
Oh, my goodness. How many penalties so far, John?
Just 4.
Just 4.
As we are 7 minutes into the first quarter for 30 yards. But it's more than just 30 yards.
Absolutely, because it was all the way down to the 5.
That would have been 35 yards gain there. That's
first and goal from the 5 it would have been.
Instead now it's going to be second down.
15.
Warriors
cannot make these mistakes.
Ball back at the Petaluma 42-yard line. Price comes out wide to the right, and so does Gio Gonzalez. Now man in motion coming to the right. Back to pass, quick pass to Gonzalez, makes the catch, coming around the right side, going down the sidelines, and gets dragged out of bounds at the 30. So it's going to be third down. Looking around, I do see a penalty flag. Holding against Del Norte. 3 consecutive plays that Del Norte has been flagged for an infraction. This time the penalty is at the Petaluma 38-yard line.
There's a 12-yard gain erased. And it's going to bring up about second down and 25.
Holding penalty against the offense.
This has been an issue all season. As mentioned earlier, Del Norte has committed over 100 yards in penalties in all 3 games this year. Price goes out wide to the left this time. Gonzalez in the slot. Mitchell goes in motion to the left side. Handoff up the middle. Cox-Cooley can't get away from the tackler.
He was one block away right there. Connor's block just slid off the defender, but he's going to pick up 2 yards on the play. That was close to being big.
So it's going to be 3rd down and a bunch. Ball at the 44, and the Warriors have to get to just past the 26 for a first down.
You know, John, I don't think you have to go for everything on this play. I think with the way the Del Norte defense is playing, this can be 2-down territory if you pick up 9 or 10 here.
Price and Gonzalez split out to the left. Now Gonzalez comes back to motion. Fake the pitch to him. Screen play to Cox Cooley. Gets a block. It gets tackled at the first down where the original first down marker was.
To Levi Cox Cooley.
It's going to be 4th down and 11 at the Petaluma 37-yard line.
Decision time here for Coach White.
Go for it.
Absolutely.
You're deep in the territory. A punt does you no good, and it's probably just a little far outside of Kenji Adams' lead range. What am I kidding? Yes, it is.
54-yard.
54-yard. However, he had that one kickoff that.
Well, his last one kicked into the end zone.
He got in the end zone. He had the one that actually sailed through the end zone back at home. So here we go, 4th and 11. Kalea sends a man in motion, near side. Back to pass, fakes the draw, is going to look deep, throws deep over the middle, and it's over the head of his intended receiver. Tried to hit Mitchell at the 10. So back-to-back holding penalties against the Warriors stymie this drive with 1:22 left in the quarter, and the Warriors leading 7-0 on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard.
Coach Chris White talking to his quarterback right now. When Kobe Mitchell came out of the slot right there, he took the safety with him to the far side of the field and left one-on-one coverage with Caleb Price on this side. And Coach Chris White wants that one back because Caleb had the post down the middle of the field.
Petaluma takes over 1st and 10 in their territory. 7-0 our score. Warriors in front. Hartman goes under center. Man in motion coming this way. Hand off to the tailback. And finding absolutely no room as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Warriors are there. Led in large part by Nick Freeman.
Freeman and Faulkner stood him up at the line of scrimmage and just drove him backwards.
Aliota picks up 1 yard. And it's going to be 2nd and 9. And Aliota comes out of the game.
Try to count how many fingers somebody has.
Hartman will go under center. He's a junior, 5'11". Warriors showing blitz. He's looking to pass, and he is swallowed. The first sack of the night for Del Norte. Timmy Thompson is there.
As the coach yells, somebody blocked from down below. That was just a jailbreak on the quarterback.
And Chase Blackburn coming off his linebacker position as well.
I mean, we're a ways away from the field, and you can hear the coach from here, John. He yelled to his team, somebody block up front. The quarterback just went back to pass. It was a simple 3-step drop, and he didn't even get 2 steps back.
So now it's 3rd down and 13. Ball at the Petaluma 34-yard line. And there's confusion in the backfield. In fact, that's the end of the first quarter. One that saw Del Norte dominate, taking advantage of a turnover deep in Petaluma territory and scoring on their first possession. After one, it's Del Norte 7, Petaluma nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter after this. We're broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. You're listening to Del Norte Sports.
It's time now for the Warrior of the Week. And it's brought to you by Lisa McCowan, State Farm Insurance. Call Lisa when you want great service and State Farm Insurance. And now, the Warrior of the Week.
Your Lisa McCowan State Farm Insurance Athlete of the Week is Danica Scott, a member of the Del Norte High tennis team. The Warrior senior, playing in the #1 position on the singles ladder, is off to a 2-0 start on the young season. Scott has yet to drop a set in conference victories over North Coast Prep and Fortuna. Lisa McCowan and her team at State Farm Insurance in Crescent City say, great work, Danica. Best of luck to you the rest of the season.
And this has been your Warrior of the Week. And it's brought to you by Lisa McCowan, State Farm Insurance. Call Lisa when you want great service and State Farm Insurance. And that is your Warrior of the Week.
3rd down and 13 for Petaluma. Warriors leading 7-0. Hartman out to pass, rolling to his right, throws, and it's in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. And it's going to be 4th down as Del Norte coverage by Tanner Faulkner and Anthony Slayton, which tells you what you need to know about them. Those guys are good.
They are good, and they know where quarterbacks are going. That bootleg rollout, they knew that was going to go in the flats, and both of them were right there. Great job by the linebackers.
Here comes the punt by Hartman. Back deep for the Warriors is Cox Cooley and Blackburn. Waiting for the snap as Petaluma being very deliberate. High snap. It goes over the punter's head. Hartman's got it. He's going to try to get it off, and he's able to get the punt off, but it's going to go out of bounds. The Warriors are going to take over in terrific field position. In fact, they may actually end up with positive yards on this punt.
Well, what a great job by Hartman. Very athletic. He might even kick that opposite foot.
That
punt
punt
the other way
was for -1 yard.
But he kicked it from his 12, so if he would have just fell on that thing, it would have been trouble.
Del Norte takes over 1st and 10 from the Petaluma 36-yard line, leading 7-0 with 11:45 to go in the first half on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard. John Horner, John Pritchett with you, high above Petaluma High School's football field, Ellison Field. And by high above, I mean we're on top of the press box, and I'm holding on to the railing. Literally, I'm holding on to the railing. Kalea goes under center, hands it off right up the middle, and picking up about 5 yards. I believe that's Kobe Mitchell. It is. And it's going to be 2nd down and 5 to go as they spot the ball at the 31-yard line.
First quarter stats, Del Norte rushed the ball 10 times for 52 yards, 1 of 3 passing for 8, but you had probably 40 yards called back in penalties. Taking a look at Petaluma, 5 rushes for 2 yards.
40 yards is exactly correct. 3 back-to-back holding penalties killed the last drive. Warriors break the huddle. Kalea goes under center, sends a man in motion. He gets the ball. Running on the left side, that's Cox Cooley, and he is... Are we good to go, Mike? Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're hearing a lot of noise here at this end, and we apologize if it's being broadcast. Cox Cooley gets the ball into first down territory to the 26-yard line.
Good for 7 yards on the play for Cox Cooley, just off the tackle. Does a great job at reading his tight end and just leaning and following his block.
Kalea, the senior, sets his man in motion. Hands off, Cox Cooley right side, breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet, and gets inside the 20 to about the 17. Another great run by the junior.
You know, the linebackers are coming up and making good hits on the Warrior, the running backs, but it's not till it's like 5 or 6 yards down the field. Del Norte's front line doing a great job at paving the way up front.
2nd down from the 17. Mitchell behind Kalea. Cox Cooley in motion. Mitchell gets the ball right up the middle, right behind Luke King, still moving, and he'll pick up the first down.
Great job by Kobe Mitchell. A quick hitter with the fullback right up the middle. It's going to be good for about 12 yards on the play.
Warriors leading 7-0 here in the second quarter and threatening. Inside the 10 now at the 9. 1st and goal.
Mitchell with 45 yards on 7 carries so far tonight.
He's averaging almost 7.5 a carry so far this season. The Warriors 3-0 this year. Handoff, Cox Cooley, and he is going to be stopped for a minimal gain as the Warriors tried to run the counter, and Petaluma was waiting for it.
Absolutely. They're starting to stack those outside 5 and 6 hole on both sides of the field, stacking up those linebackers out there, and Cox Cooley's having a rough time to get through it.
2nd and goal from the 8. Price goes out wide to the left. That's been a target of Calais in this situation. Instead, hands off. Mitchell plowing his way forward. Touchdown, Del Norte. Kobe Mitchell with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Sixth.
8-yard touchdown by Kobe Mitchell. Just another quick hitter up the middle. Kobe did a great job at exploding through the hole, broke off one lineman tackle, and kind of dove into the end zone. Did a great job.
8:55 to go, second quarter, and the Warriors now lead 13-0 with the extra point. And I think we're going to make that your Seaquake play of the game. Here's the snap, there's the hold, there's the kick, and it is good. He's now 13-13 is Kenji Adams-Lee as Del Norte extends the lead to 14-0. And Kobe Mitchell's 8-yard touchdown run with 8:55 to go in the first half is your Seaquake play of the game.
That touchdown brought to you by L&L Design and Construction. For home and remodels and new construction, call 707-465-6432. And that's L&L Design and Construction.
Warrior Athletics brought to you by members of the legendary Sportscasters Club, which includes Crescent City, Les Schwab Tire. We're doing the right thing matters. Del Norte Ambulance, now and always dedicated to serving. Fort Dick Market and Deli, your neighborhood store on Lake Earl Drive. Try the chili. Affordable tow, dependable, fast, and reliable when your vehicle isn't. Shelwell Benson Hartwick, good luck, Warriors, from Team CBH, your local accounting and tax firm, and Oat Hill Organic Beef, local, grass-fed, organic Angus beef. That's Oat Hill Organic Beef.
On Center Coast Hospital scoreboard, 6:55, or is that 8:55?
8:55.
8:55 left here in the second quarter. Del Norte leading 14-0.
Getting ready for the kickoff by Kenji Adams-Lee. He gives it a high kick. It's going to be taken at the 18-yard line on the far side of the field, trying to find some room and going out of bounds at the 30. I believe that was Joey Alioto on the far side of the field. That'll be where the Trojans take over 1st and 10.
Not a real deep kick, but a very high kick. Gave coverage time to get down the field, and I really like the coverage on that kick. One-sided, really high, gives the defenders get the time to get back there.
Next week, we will be in the bustling community of Klamath Falls, Oregon, as the Warriors and the Vikings of Mazama High renew that rivalry. 1st and 10, 5-4 Petaluma. Hartman goes under center. Handoff. First man through. He didn't go through anything. And, in fact, coming up with the ball and going into the end zone, is that Luke King?
Yes, it was.
Big Luke King, but I think they're going to say he was down before he stripped the ball.
So it looks like it's going to be a loss of about 2 or 3 on the play.
And your Seaquake is actually fortunate that he didn't get a penalty for spiking the ball. Is that Trevor Freeman or Luke King?
No, it was Luke King.
But it's going to be...
Bob Hatfield went and received the ball back there. Bob's back there, making sure we don't get in trouble.
So here we go, 2nd and 11 for the Trojans.
Boy, that play was just blown up from the beginning right there. I mean, I don't even know if he got the handoff off. I mean, he went to hand it off, and everybody got tackled in the backfield.
2nd down. Petaluma has the ball. Warriors looking Price. It's rolling out as Hartman steps up, throws deep, finds a man. It's dropped. Price with the coverage.
What a pass. That was a gorgeous pass from Hartman off his back shoulder, getting rushed. And that was an over-the-shoulder throw about 40 yards down the field.
Gianni Johnson, 6'1 senior, had it in his paws, but could not haul it in.
Literally 40-yard touch pass over the shoulder. That was a gorgeous pass.
3rd down and 11 coming up for Petaluma. The Trojans 1-2 so far this year, coming off a 59-zip loss. Price goes Foothill last week. A very good Foothill team. 2 receivers come out wide to the right, 1 to the left. Hartman rolls out again. Screen pass all the way to the other side and breaks 1 tackle, does Ratto, but he can't get away from 4 other Warriors, including in that is Faulkner.
Loss of 1 on the play.
And it's going to be 4th and long.
Luke King and others in on the tackle.
And so Blackburn and Cox Cooley. Blackburn, who's not had a carry yet tonight, I believe, after a career performance last week against LaSalle. Here comes Hartman with a punt. His last time he punted, it went over his head. This one, ground ball, and it bounces right to him. So he's able to field it, and the ball ends up getting touched by a Petaluma player, and they'll down it at the 38 of Del Norte, where the Warriors will take over 1st and 10, leading 14-0 on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard, 6:53 to go in the first half.
Petaluma 3 possessions, unable to get a first down so far, and they're sitting at -2 yards of total offense. Del Norte dominating on the defensive side.
Warriors have taken advantage of 2 miscues by the Trojans. One, a fumble on their first play of scrimmage deep in their own territory, and the second, a botched punt that went over the head of the punter, Jack Hartman. He was able to get it off, but it was going to be a -1 yard. And we're apologizing for that noise, ladies and gentlemen. Penalty flag flies once again as Cox Cooley breaks 1 tackle, going down the left side, cuts it back, and gets into Petaluma territory. But I have a feeling this is going to come back.
Another penalty? Where?
Levi Cox.
Oh, yeah.
2 men in motion is the signal.
Of course, another 15-yard gain.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 15-yard gain, a 5-yard penalty. 6th penalty of the half.
Center Coast Hospital scoreboard, 6:42 left here in the first half. Del Norte leading 14-0.
Warrior Junior Varsity won tonight 47-7. Del Norte's JV is now 3-0 on the season. It's going to be 1st down and 15, and the ball is going to be placed
penalty on the offense.
Eventually somewhere. Oops, they were going to make it a 10-yard penalty, and the white hat said no, up here at the 37, not the 32. Here we go, 1st and 10. Clock running. Halfway through the second quarter, Del Norte up by 14. Tight formation, single wide receiver to the left. Handoff inside, counterplay. Cox Cooley's got some room at the 50. It's a foot race at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, and he's dragged down inside the 10, and there's a penalty flag on the field. Excuse me, that was Gio Gonzalez. Knocks Cox Cooley, but it really doesn't matter.
Grievous on the tackle. There's a penalty flag at the end of the play.
At the end, too. 2 of them down here.
That may have been perhaps a face mask down here, or maybe even a horse collar tackle. Yeah, I think that's what that's going to be at the end of the play. So this will probably end up offsetting. Or they'll march off 10 yards and then march back 15. So we got holding. Holding against Del Norte, face mask against Petaluma.
Holding penalty on the offense and a face mask against the defense.
And so both teams are all the way at one end of the field, and the white hat is saying, over here, boys.
No, where are they going?
Offset.
And we go with the result of the play? John, is that right?
I don't think so. But
don't they usually replay?
That would be unless they said holding on both the penalties were on defense. So count it. Give Gio Gonzalez the run all the way to the 5-yard line.
That is a 50-yard run by Gio Gonzalez from the 45.
That's a career high for the senior. And that's what it was. It was 2 defensive penalties. The penalty was not against Del Norte. Holy cow, the penalty was not against Del Norte. The penalty was not against Del Norte.
50-yard run. It was from the 45 down to the 5.
And it would be down to the 10 because the penalty would be half the distance. Kalea goes under center. Hands the ball off. Cox Cooley, and he goes untouched into the end zone. Levi Cox Cooley with his 5th rushing touchdown of the year, and the Warriors extend their lead to 20-0 with the extra point to come.
A touchdown brought to you by L&L Design and Construction. For home and remodels and new construction, call 707-465-6432. That's L&L Design and Construction.
So the Warriors score on back-to-back possessions here midway through the second quarter. And here comes Kenji Adams-Lee for the extra point. Snap is a little high, but it's pulled down, and the kick is good. He's 14 of 14 on the season on PATs this year, ladies and gentlemen. And Del Norte leads 21-0 with 6:10 to go in the second quarter.
Del Norte only flaw in the game so far is the penalties. They're moving the ball down the field, executing very well. And on defense, just absolutely dominant on all phases of the game.
Warrior Athletics brought to you by members of the legendary Sportscasters Club, which includes the Clubhouse Play Center and Daycare. For drop-in play and daycare, you can stop by at 745 Railroad in Brookings. 745 Railroad in the beautiful city of Brookings. Brookings Harbor Veterinarian Hospital, caring for our four-legged friends. Want to say hi to Warrior, who I'm sure is listening back home.
Absolutely, Warrior's probably listening.
Del Norte Office Supply, customer service. You should expect that. And, of course, Warrior Athletics brought to you by Sutter Coast Hospital, Lisa McCowan of State Farm Insurance, the Hiuchi Hamlet, which will present the Hiuchi Hamlet halftime report coming up in a little bit, L&L Design and Construction, Coast Central Credit Union, Freeman Rock, and Seaquake. 21-0. Warriors, after back-to-back lopsided wins at home, trying to tack on another one, this time in Petaluma. Kenji Adams-Lee ground ball up the middle. It bounces off one Petaluma player, but is fielded by another at the 25, and that's the end of that run.
Connor Long diving back to the backfield, just shedding off blockers, and getting to the getting to the rusher at about the 28. Just unbelievable how obsessed he plays. Possessed.
So here we go.
Looks like Pritchett going through the buffet line.
Petaluma down 21-0, having the ball at their own 28-yard line or so. The 28, nose of the football, touching there. One receiver goes out wide to the left, another one to the right. Split running backs behind junior quarterback Jack Hartman. Hartman hands the ball off, and it's going to be a loss on the play as Sam Showerman steps up and brings down the would-be ball carrier. Loss of two.
I think it was Brazil. Brazil on the carry. It's hard to tell because as soon as they touch it, he's just swallowed up. Loss of two. You have to wait till they remove the carnage. Loss of two on the play.
Ball now back at, let's call it the 26. Clock running, 5.5 to go here in the first half.
Petaluma's had no chance to do anything.
Del Norte's front eight has just been dominant. Killed. Coming in, Chase Blackburn was able to make the tackle on Hartman before he could run the pitch play. And Hartman, who is 5'11", and I'm guessing about 160 pounds, comes up very slow, as if maybe he got the wind knocked out of him, as Blackburn executed a textbook tackle.
Folks, if you're at home listening to this, just to picture these Del Norte defenders just going through the line like they're not even there and just laying out these backs.
Ball now back at the 25.
Unbelievable.
3rd and long. Warriors blitzing. Back to pass. Hartman throws it out in the flat. It's almost caught, then almost intercepted. On the coverage for Del Norte.
Pass incomplete. Intended
was
Cortez.
Was Slayton. Faulkner. I'm sorry.
Coverage.
Great job by the Warriors. Hartman's the only way to throw that ball is as soon as he got the snap, he just turned and threw it. The only chance he had, it was a little flare pass out to the receiver.
So Hartman goes back to punt again. Last time it was a ground ball that he's able to field. The time before that, it actually went over his head and resulted in a punt of -1. Cox Cooley and Blackburn deep basically standing close to the 50-yard line. Hartman on his own 10, waiting for the snap. This time the snap is perfect. He gets the kickoff, and it's going to go out of bounds.
Coach White makes a great play on the sideline. Chris White.
Right at the 50-yard line.
Goes out near midfield.
Center Coast Hospital scoreboard, 4:25 left here in the first half, and Del Norte's going to take back possession, leading 21-0 here in Petaluma.
Stay tuned for the Hiuchi Hamlet halftime report featuring Warrior Focus. We're going to be talking about Del Norte volleyball, Del Norte soccer, youth football, and we're going to be talking a little college athletics as well. That's coming up on the Hiuchi Hamlet halftime report. 4:25 to go. Ball on the Del Norte 49. Terrific field position once again for the Warriors, leading 21-0. And they've had their way so much with everybody but the officials. Handoff Mitchell right up the middle, weaving his way, and then pushing forward to near first down yardage. He's going to be shy by about 2 yards, but into Trojan territory at the 42.
63 yards on 9 carries now for Mitchell here in the first half.
Second down and 2. Less than 4 minutes to go. Coach Nick White undoubtedly would love to stick another one in the end zone before halftime. Breaks the huddle. Price comes out wide to the left. He's got single coverage. And we got a whistle on the far side of the field. Timeout Del Norte. First of the half.
3:43 left here in the first half.
Taking a look at other members of the Sportscasters Club. And while I do that, why don't you check to see if you can get a score on that St. Bernard's-LaSalle game.
I'll see what I can do.
Members of the legendary Sportscasters Club include Elk Valley Casino, where there's always big game ahead. Hemmingson Contracting for all landscaping, paving, and road construction projects. And Del Norte Tire. The Barnes family says our roots are here, not just our branches. Del Norte Tire.
Well, unfortunately, Del Norte's the only fans updating Max Prep. We got in progress for the St. Bernard's game, but no other scoring updates except for the Warriors. So
next week, we will be in Klamath Falls taking on Mazama. And then 2 weeks from tonight, we will be back home at Mike Whalen Field for a non-conference homecoming battle against Fortuna.
That's going to be a big one. Del Norte's got to get ready for that one. Huskies coming to town. We got the Huskies. They got us last time we went down there in the non-conference, right?
And the Huskies are coming off a bye week.
Oof. And Bimbo's got 2 weeks to get ready for us.
Back to pass is Kalea for Del Norte. Looking, throws over the middle. Oh, in and out of the hands.
Cox Cooley.
Cox Cooley at the 20-yard line, and all he can do is grab his helmet in disbelief. If he had caught that, he would have been racing into the end zone for a 43-yard touchdown pass.
Great look by OJ, too. He put that one on the money right into Cox Cooley's hands as he hit that post route right across the middle of the field.
Third down and 2. Ball at the Petaluma 43-yard line. Warriors come up to the line. Man comes in motion. Ball's fumbled, and we have a penalty flag as well. Kalea was able to jump on the ball. Let's see what the penalty is.
Dead ball foul.
Penalties against Del Norte. That will probably be turned down.
It was pre-snap.
Pre-snap, so they can't turn it down, which is a benefit for the Warriors.
So they'll make it 3rd and 7 instead of 4th and 2.
7th penalty of the half, which is actually below their average in the first half. So let's see what Coach White and Coach White come up with on 3rd and 8. Handoff, that's Mitchell, and he will not get there. He'll get back into Petaluma territory to the Petaluma 47. And it's going to be 4th down and 6. 3:23 to go, and here comes the full moon.
Well, that's going to be gorgeous coming over the hill.
On Friday the 13th. And so with the ball in Petaluma territory, let's see what the Del Norte coaching staff decides to do. And it looks like they are going to go for it on 4th and 6. leading 21-0, just under 3 minutes left in the half on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard. Price comes out wide to the left. Single running back behind Kalea. Now man comes in motion and stops and goes back. Warriors trying to get Petaluma to jump off sides, and that ain't happening. So instead, Del Norte calls timeout, second of the half, and they'll reevaluate and decide if they want to punt or not.
I think it's still a situation where you go for it here. I mean, Petaluma's had no signs of life on the offensive side, and Del Norte's been pulling off some, 5, 6, 7 yards at a crack. I would like to see them try to pitch that thing outside and let Cox Cooley or Blackburn, cut one up the middle.
Earlier tonight, Del Norte's junior varsity easily won 47-7 our final, with R.J. Lofton scoring 3 touchdowns, 2 in the air. Caleb Dodson getting a couple of touchdown runs. Connor Price scoring from 1 yard out. And Giancarlo DiSolini on a 12-yard scamper, as Del Norte's junior varsity improved to 3-0 this season. Del Norte's varsity trying to go to 4-0 if they can win here tonight at Petaluma High School, Ellison Field. The first of back-to-back road games for the Warriors, who will be in Mazama of Klamath Falls next week. And, of course, KPOD will be there with all the action with Mad Dog and John. 4th down and 6. Warriors are going to go for it. Kalea goes under center. Back to pass. This is a senior looking. Swings it out. That's Cox Cooley running for his life, and he cannot get away. No gain on the play, and so Petaluma holds for the first time without a major penalty on Del Norte.
As the student section gets a little fired up.
It'll be 1st and 10 Trojans at their own 47-yard line. Best field position to start a drive tonight for Petaluma, which trails 21-0.
Clock's still running. They're trying to get him to stop it. Probably another 15 seconds they're going to have to put back on there.
2:32 is what the white half
17 seconds
barks at the timekeeper.
I was close. We'll blame that on Mitchell down there. Coach Mitchell down there causing all kinds of havoc.
And they got it fixed, 2:32. It is a beautiful harvest moon rising to our right. We are on top of the Petaluma press box. I'm feeling a little better.
Are you?
Yeah.
The sun went down, the wind went away.
That helped.
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking about earthquakes at all.
Yeah.
2:32 to go in the first half. 21-0 our score. Warriors in front, but Petaluma with the ball. Handoff, first man through, and finding some room. Cutting it up, cutting it back the other way for Petaluma. That's Randall Brazel, and he finally gets taken down at the 15-yard line of Del Norte. A terrific run, the best play of the game so far for the home team.
They found a crease in the middle right there.
Quick hitter right up the middle. And then Brazil weaved his way to the left. It's first down for Petaluma on the Del Norte 17-yard line.
34-yard gain by Brazil.
Hartman comes to the sideline, gets his instructions, jogs back to the huddle, tells his team what he wants them to do. They break the huddle.
Coach LaFazio didn't like that, I guarantee you.
One receiver goes out wide to the left, another to the right. Split running backs behind Hartman. He's under center. Warriors showing blitz. Back to pass. Looking, throws over the middle, and it's knocked away.
What a
terrific defensive play by Del Norte.
Was that Freeman?
Nick Freeman with the play. Nice job by the senior cornerback, and it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Great job diving in front of the slant pass right towards the end zone. Did a fantastic job, athletic, to dive in front of it and knock it away.
Defended by Nick
Warriors.
Nothing like Coach LaFazio getting his blunt boiling over there before halftime. You don't like giving up scores, John.
Especially ones just before halftime. 2 receivers come out wide to the right, 1 to the left. Split running backs again. Hartman goes under center. Warriors looking like they're going to blitz. Handoff right up the middle, and this time nothing going on there. A host of Warriors making the tackle.
As Coach LaFazio is dialing up the house on that one. No gain.
I believe that was Luke King there. A lot of purple jerseys on the sidelines and very, very few white jerseys on the sidelines for Del Norte. Warriors only traveling about 20 varsity players. So here we go, 3rd and 10. Blitz again by Del Norte, and Hartman gets swallowed up yet again back at the 21.
Loss of 4 on the play. That's going to be Slayton back there. Great job by Slayton and Timmy Thompson. Causing havoc in the backfield. It looked like Hartman turned around to hand it off somebody. Nobody came to get it. He was just left for the Wolves. Or the Warriors in this case.
4th down and, well, they're on the 20, and they have to get to the 8.
Field goal.
And they're going to try a 37-yard field goal. Ball will be spotted at the 27. And I believe the kicker is Luis Lorenzo. Ball is blocked. Ball is still on the ground. It's picked up by Cox Cooley, going backwards, and he is going to get, well, he gets away from one would-be tackler, still on his feet, now working his way the other way, and he's got green grass in front of him. He's going to have one person to beat. He's at the 50, breaks the tackle, cuts it back, and is going to be taken down from behind deep in Petaluma territory at the 41-yard line. He picked up the kick at the 15, went backwards inside his own 5, was able to shed a tackler there
at the 2,
and then came back around the same way he started and worked his way all the way into Petaluma territory at the 41 with 30.6 seconds left.
Now that was our spooktacular play of the game so far. See, the moon came out and crazy stuff's going to happen now.
That's right. The moon has risen. It's technically it's not a total full moon until after midnight tonight.
Okay.
Technically.
That's when I can start howling?
Yes. And we do have an injured Warrior on the field. And that is Caleb Price.
They popped him up. He's walking off on his own now.
And that may be a cramp. It was 99 degrees when we first came here. It's now dropped down to 84. Mine says 81. But it feels like 81 according to my phone.
Feels like.
Yours says 84. So let's see what offensive coordinator Chris White has in store with 30 and a half seconds to go, leading by 21 on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard.
That's Freeman out wide right with the Price out.
3 wide receivers go out wide to the right, 1 to the left. Quick pass, caught. That's Gonzalez, I believe. Penalty flag flies.
Another holding call against the Warriors.
Luke Rivas
on the outside, that was Freeman holding.
And there's a holding penalty on the play.
Gonzalez gets the ball to the 35-yard line.
Well, that's always interesting when you have a 7-yard gain and the foul was 10 yards down the field, and then marker from way down the
So right. It ends up being a loss of 1. 8th penalty of the night. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 yards. So that's below average. Back to pass, caught. That is Connor Long. He's trying to get outside and gets taken down past the 30. Long with his 3rd catch of the season. And the clock is stopped with, I believe that's 8.7 seconds to go.
First down, Warriors.
12-yard gain for the Warriors, down to the 30.
And the Warriors call their last timeout.
Del Norte.
So Del Norte has basically 2 options. They can take a shot at the end zone, or they can take a shot at a sideline pass, try to get out of bounds, get a little bit closer, and let Kenji Adams-Lee take a shot at a field goal. He's got some good leg. He was 1 of 2 on field goals last year.
I think if he can get down to the 20, another 10 yards, that'll leave him about a 37-yarder, and I think that'd be a good test for the kicker. And it'd be a good idea for us to try one of those here. You know, we haven't had a field goal attempt yet this year, so look for Coach White maybe to get a 10-yard out, or they're putting Price back in the ballgame. They could go deep, too.
No timeouts left for the Warriors. 8.7 seconds to go. Del Norte up by 21 as the Warriors defense pitching a shutout. Two of those scores came on extremely short fields, thanks to miscues by Petaluma. One on their first play from scrimmage, where they fumbled the ball. Del Norte went about 20 yards for the score on that drive. So here we go. Three receivers wide to the right, one to the left. Single running back to the right of Kalea in the shotgun. Back to pass, looking. He's going to throw deep, trying to hit Price at the goal line. It goes up, tipped up, and lands. But we do have a penalty flag. It's going to be pass interference, and it's going to be against who?
It's going to be against Price from the back.
The pass is incomplete.
Price has done that a couple times this year. Got behind the receiver, the ball comes short. Price pushes in the back to try to separate a little bit of room.
And you are correct, sir. So that takes away any chance at a field goal as they'll march Del Norte back. And so the Warriors with 1.9 seconds left. Make sure you stay tuned for the Haiuchi Hamlet halftime report. We're going to cover the scoring of the first half, stats.
Try to get some updates from other games.
It's a 10-yard penalty.
Ball is at the Petaluma 45-yard line.
OJ's in shotgun, standing back at midfield.
Hits the ball, straight drop, lots of time, big pocket, throws deep, looking for a receiver, and it is incomplete. That brings an end to the first half of play, one that the Warriors dominated, especially defensively. It's 21-0, Warriors in front, and Mad Dog, some miscues again from the offense, but boy, the Warriors got to be thrilled with their defensive effort.
Absolutely. What a great defensive effort by the Warriors on this team that really came out and wanted to run the ball against the Warriors. It honestly looked like on the defensive side and the offense for the Trojans, it looked like a varsity playing a JV team. We were that dominant on the defensive side. Hats off to Coach LaFazio and that defense.
We'll be back with the Haiuchi Hamlet halftime report right after this. We're broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. You're listening to Del Norte Sports.
It's time for the Haiuchi Hamlet halftime report. For all your convenience store needs, stop into the Haiuchi Hamlet, broadcasting live with Warrior Pride.
The Haiuchi Hamlet, nestled in the Redwoods by the Smith River, is your store of convenience. Whether you're spending the day at the river swimming, fishing, hiking, camping, or just taking a leisurely drive, Haiuchi Hamlet has everything you need, from hot snacks, cold beverages, and groceries to fishing tackle and gas. Stop in to see what kind of goodies you can find whenever you're nearby. Haiuchi Hamlet, proud supporters of the Del Norte Warriors.
Freeman Rock is your complete source for landscaping products, including topsoil and soil amendments. Buying your products in bulk is the most economical and ecologically friendly. And Freeman Rock also delivers. Freeman Rock is open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday by appointment. Freeman Rock has supplied our communities with quality ready-mix concrete, sand, and gravel, and now landscaping supplies since 1976. Check out our new updated interactive website, freemanrock.com, or call 469-2444.
Life can change in a heartbeat. A traffic accident, a sports injury, a heart attack or stroke. Suddenly, your world turns upside down. When you need attention quickly, turn to Sutter Coast Hospital's 24-hour emergency room. Skilled emergency doctors and nurses here offer compassionate and immediate care. Located in Crescent City, right off Highway 101, turn to Sutter Coast Hospital, serving the North Coast region for more than 30 years.
When you choose L&L Design and Construction, it's a game changer. They can do it all. New home construction, remodels large or small, garages and manufactured home site development. They're local, reliable, and love this community. When it comes to design and construction, choose the LaFazio family at L&L, proud supporters of the Del Norte Warriors. Start planning for spring today. Call 707-465-6432, license number 931605.
Hi, this is John Pritchett, and this is Warrior Focus. The Del Norte High volleyball team is already looking forward to next Tuesday, when the Warriors will play host to Brookings Harbor High in Tuna Gymnasium. Last week, the Bruins bested Del Norte 3-1 in Brookings. Today, the Warriors are taking part in a one-day tournament in Red Bluff. Del Norte's conference season will begin Thursday night when it travels to McKinleyville.
The Warriors girls tennis team overwhelmed Fortuna on Tuesday on the Del Norte courts, winning 8 of 9 matches. Tomorrow in Crescent City, Ferndale will take on Del Norte starting at 10 a.m. Both of Del Norte's soccer teams fell to Fortuna on Wednesday on the Warriors' home field. The Del Norte girls lost 4-1 with Jaden Clifton scoring the lone Warrior goal. The Del Norte boys were defeated 2-0 in a battle between last season's 2 North Coast Section playoff finalists. On Saturday, Eureka High comes to Del Norte, with the boys starting at 1 p.m. and the girls at 3 o'clock. In Youth Football League action, it was another good outing for the AAA Del Norte Gold. That squad is now 2-0 after handling Eel River last weekend 18-2. On Sunday, Del Norte plays host to Redwood starting at 2 p.m. At the AA level, Del Norte Gold is now 1-1 following a 32-6 victory over Eel River. Del Norte Blue fell to 0-2 after Eureka beat the home team 45-0. On Sunday, Del Norte Gold will play Redwood at noon, while Del Norte Blue takes on Ferndale at 4 o'clock. And in single A action, Eel River stopped Del Norte 19-6. Next up for the 1-1 Del Norte team is Redwood at 10 a.m. All those Del Norte games will be played in Crescent City at Mike Whalen Field. Former Del Norte High standout Kayla Costello is playing extensive minutes for the Humboldt State volleyball team. The Lumberjacks are 2-2 this season. The College of the Redwoods volleyball team is looking to bounce back after an 0-5 start to the year. The CR football team is 0-1 with no former Warriors listed on its roster. Garrett McAlexander is on the roster at Shasta College. Ethan King of Del Norte and Calvin Watwood of Brookings Harbor are both playing at Southern Oregon University on the football team. And if you know a local athlete playing college sports, send me a note at kpod@bicoastal.media. For Warrior Focus, I'm John Pritchett.
We're at halftime here at Petaluma High School. Del Norte leading the Trojans 21-0. John Pritchett, John Horner with you here on the Hiuchi Hamlet halftime report. Let's recap the scoring. Warriors got on the board early after kicking off on the very first play from scrimmage. Petaluma fumbled, Del Norte recovered, and then a scant moment later, it was Kobe Mitchell scoring on a 1-yard run. Kenji Adams-Lee's kick was good, and so with 10:22 left in the first quarter, the Warriors led 7-0. That was the score at the end of one. In the second quarter, Del Norte took advantage of another Petaluma mistake, this time after a Trojan punt attempt went over the head of the punter. He was actually able to get it off, kicking it left-footed no less, but it was for a -1, and Del Norte scored a few moments later. This time it was Kobe Mitchell again from 8 yards out. Kenji Adams-Lee's kick was good. It's 14-0 with 8:55. Del Norte got the third touchdown of the half, second of the quarter, this time courtesy of Levi Cox-Cooley, pushing it over from 5 yards out, and the kick was good. 21-0 our score here at halftime. And Mad Dog, as we mentioned right before the halftime break, it was Del Norte's defense has been absolutely bone-crushing.
It was, I knew we'd do well. I thought it would be a little bit more of a test of our defense to see if we could stop the run first. But in a lot of different aspects, the Trojans didn't show up when it came to the front line on the offensive side. Del Norte is blitzing. They're not picking it up. It's almost hazardous for those backs in the backfield. They're getting hit hard back there. If you take a look at we'll take a look at the stats here for Petaluma. 11 rushes for 25 yards, and 34 yards of that came on that one run. So they were, without that run, they were in the minus when it comes to rushing. They were 1 of 5 passing for -1 yard for a total of 24 yards of total offense. On the Del Norte side, it was business as usual for the Warriors. 20 carries for 151 yards, 3 of 7 passing for 21 yards for OJ, so a total of 172 yards of offense for the Warriors. Mitchell had 10 carries for 62 yards. Cox-Cooley, he had 7 carries for 34 yards. You had Gonzalez with 50 yards also. He had 2 carries for 50 yards. Blackburn, only 1 carry tonight for 5 yards. And you had Cox-Cooley with 2 catches for 9. And Connor Long had 1 catch for 12 also.
You're listening to the Haiuchi Hamlet Halftime Report. John Pritchett, John Horner with you. Here, high above Petaluma High School's football field, Ellison Field. And next week, Mad Dog, we will be back on the road, this time heading east rather than south, as Del Norte takes on Mazama High, one of the Class 4A powerhouses, traditionally a team that reaches the OSAA quarterfinals and semifinals. They've always seemed to be just a step away from the championship game. And last year, when Del Norte defeated Mazama 28-7 at Mike Whalen Field, that was when everybody recognized that this Del Norte team last year could be something special, and it was. Final, Warriors went 9-3 and reached the semifinals of the North Coast Section Division IV playoffs. Once again, this is going to be a great test for Del Norte against Vic Leish's team, Coach Vic Leish. They won their opener, did the Vikings, 40-0 last week against Ontario.
Well, Coach Nick White said his next 3 games are going to be a big test for his Warrior defense because they're all run-first kind of teams. And I guarantee you, Mazama, after watching this first half, Mazama's going to put together a much better run offense than the Trojans did. And, we're going to Mazama. Always hostile territory, small town feel. It's going to be a true Friday Night Lights event, very much an enriched football town. And Mazama's going to be no slouch. They're ranked. They're the highest-ranked team we've played so far, with Moreau Catholic losing another game since we played them. That Mazama team is going to be the best team we've played so far.
And then we get to come home for homecoming, no less, for the non-conference battle between Del Norte and Fortuna. That game will be, of course, at Mike Whalen Field on September 27th.
So Fortuna, the non-conference, we went down there last year for the non-conference and lost. So Del Norte's going to have to find a way to get back at them when they come up to our place. Last year they got us down there, and we got them for the game that mattered when we played them in the league game. So this game might not seem like it's much because it's non-conference, but when it comes to these two teams, there's nobody's going to take it as a non-conference game.
Del Norte and Fortuna played 3 times last year, with Fortuna capturing the 3rd game, which just happened to be in the semifinals of the North Coast Section playoffs. Fortuna would go on and beat Moreau Catholic in the championship game to win its 2nd section title in as many years.
And like you said, Coach Bimbo will have a week or 2 weeks to prepare for the Warriors. So anytime you give Coach Bimbo that much time, he can be very dangerous, no matter what kind of squad he has.
You're listening to the Haiuchi Hamlet Halftime Report. And we're going to be back with you with keys for the second half for Del Norte. Warriors leading 21-0 over Petaluma on the Trojans' home field. We're broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. You're listening to Del Norte Sports.
Del Norte Warrior Sports, broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. Thanks to our legendary sportscasters.
And thanks to Elk Valley Casino, Hemmingson Contracting, Del Norte Tire, H&R Block, Hambro WSG, and Harbrook Jewelers.
Listen to Del Norte Warrior games online at delnortesports.com and at 97.9 KPOD. Broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. Go Warriors!
The Haiuchi Hamlet, nestled in the Redwoods by the Smith River, is your store of convenience. Whether you're spending the day at the river swimming, fishing, hiking, camping, or just taking a leisurely drive, Haiuchi Hamlet has everything you need, from hot snacks, cold beverages, and groceries to fishing tackle and gas. Stop in to see what kind of goodies you can find whenever you're nearby. Haiuchi Hamlet, proud supporters of the Del Norte Warriors.
Freeman Rock is your complete source for landscaping products, including topsoil and soil amendments. Buying your products in bulk is the most economical and ecologically friendly. And Freeman Rock also delivers. Freeman Rock is open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday by appointment. Freeman Rock has supplied our communities with quality ready-mix concrete, sand, and gravel, and now landscaping supplies since 1976. Check out our new updated interactive website, freemanrock.com, or call 469-2444.
Life can change in a heartbeat. A traffic accident, a sports injury, a heart attack or stroke. Suddenly, your world turns upside down. When you need attention quickly, turn to Sutter Coast Hospital's 24-hour emergency room. Skilled emergency doctors and nurses here offer compassionate and immediate care. Located in Crescent City, right off Highway 101, turn to Sutter Coast Hospital, serving the North Coast region for more than 30 years.
Download Warrior Sports, broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. Thanks to our legendary sportscasters.
And thanks to England Marine, Park City Superette, Suburban Propane, Curry Equipment, Crescent City Glass, and Redwood Hotel Casino.
Listen to Del Norte Warrior Games online at delnortesports.com and at 97.9 K-Pod. Broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. Go Warriors!
When you choose L&L Design and Construction, it's a game changer. They can do it all. New home construction, remodels large or small, garages and manufactured home site development. They're local, reliable, and love this community. When it comes to design and construction, choose the LaFazio family at L&L, proud supporters of the Del Norte Warriors. Start planning for spring today. Call 707-465-6432, license number 931605.
Del Norte Warrior Sports, broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. Thanks to our legendary sportscasters.
And thanks to McFerrin's Tax and Bookkeeping Services, Lucky 7 Casino, Eco Nutrients, Crescent Cabinets, McDonald's, and Humboldt Moving and Storage.
Listen to Del Norte Warrior Games online at delnortesports.com and at 97.9 K-Pod. Broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. Go Warriors!
Okay. Welcome back to Petaluma High School Ellison Field halftime, and the Warriors leading 21-0. Let's take a look at the Big Four standings. Del Norte and St. Bernard's both 3-0 coming into this evening. Warriors, of course, up right now, hoping to get a score eventually from that LaSalle-St. Bernard's game. Of course, Del Norte defeated LaSalle last week in Crescent City 42-7. Fortuna is on the road tonight. No, they're at home tonight playing Ferndale in that rivalry game. And Eureka, you have a score in Eureka, don't you?
The Eureka score, I do have a score just down the road from here in Montgomery and Santa Rosa. The Eureka Loggers are trailing Montgomery 7-0 after the first quarter.
Eureka trying not to go to 0-4 on the season.
This one could really hurt. This Montgomery team isn't very good. They're ranked right around where Fortuna and St. Bernard's are ranked. So another loss like this for Eureka could really be detrimental to them.
In Little Four conference standings, none of the teams have stood out so far. Ferndale is 1-1, taking on Fortuna tonight. McKinleyville is 1-2. It got its first win last week. Good win by knocking off an always tough Fort Bragg squad. Arcata is 0-2. They got hammered by St. Bernard's last week. And Hoopa Valley is 0-2. Hoopa Valley lost to Etna. This week, of course, Ferndale at Fortuna. Willits is at Arcata. McKinleyville is at Lower Lake and Trinity Valley, which Del Norte will play here in a few weeks. Well, not here. It'll actually be in Weaverville. Trinity Valley is at Hoopa Valley. Here at Petaluma High School, 21-0 our score. And Mad Dog, let's talk a little bit about keys to the second half for Del Norte.
Del Norte, I mean, we just got to clean it up. You know, when it comes to penalties, we talk about it till we're blue in the face. But it continues to be a glaring hole in the Warriors program right now, and it's the penalties. But Del Norte, I'd like to see you be a little more efficient when it comes to the pass game. OJ seemed to be a little bit quick and a little bit uncomfortable in the backfield tonight. Overthrew a couple passes that I think he could have made and clean that up a little bit. But all in all, I mean, the running performance by the Warriors is unbelievable. They just keep blowing up the line and getting to the second level all game long.
Well, talking about penalties, here's the good news. Del Norte had a major reduction in penalties this game so far compared to the previous 3 weeks. The bad news is it's still 8 of 60. And Del Norte has probably lost, maybe 100 yards in positive gains because of those plays being brought back.
Yeah, Del Norte's got to find a way to clean those up. I mean, we have another 70, probably 80 yards in offense. They got called back.
At least. Del Norte is winning the turnover battle, getting the first play from scrimmage fumbled. Timmy Thompson jumping on that. Warriors also getting the only sack of the game. as Thompson and Chase Blackburn came through and sacked Petaluma quarterback Jack Hartman. How about on defense? What does Del Norte need to do?
Del Norte's got to continue to do what they do and make sure they don't give up that big play. They're blitzing everybody up front, but the key is that one time they did find a way is they slice through, watch for the screen passes, play disciplined football, and make sure we don't jump offside. Defensively, it's good to be aggressive, but you got to make sure you can play under control.
This has been the Hiuchi Hamlet halftime report. The Hiuchi Hamlet, where they have hot snacks and cold drinks, they have cold snacks and hot drinks. They have everything you want, everything you need. Hiuchi Hamlet, located on U.S. Highway 199 in Hiuchi. Because where else are you going to put the Hiuchi Hamlet? Getting ready for the second half kickoff. It'll be Petaluma kicking to Del Norte. And the Trojans kind of giving a funny look, and now they break into a more traditional look. Deep is Blackburn and Cox Cooley for the Warriors. And the second half is underway. Ball is going to be taken by an up man at the 21 and getting it past the 35 for the Warriors.
Like Freeman with the catch there.
Number 35, that's Nick Freeman. Del Norte takes over first and 10.
Tim Williams on the coverage.
At about, looks to be the 37-yard line.
So once again, the Warriors defer to the second half, just like they did last week. Got a chance to, and if you remember last time against LaSalle, they ended up marching the ball like 70 yards in like 12 plays in the first drive. Let's see if the Warriors can do something more like that here to kind of oppose their will.
Handoff, second man through, Kobe Mitchell hurdles one would-be tackler, hurdles his way past the 50 into Petaluma territory. First down, Del Norte, no penalty flags.
We talk about how sometimes carefree he is in the middle of the field, but man, what passion the kid has to make sure he gets those extra yards. And, you know, we keep knocking the way he takes care of the ball, but he hasn't turned it over yet.
However, it's worth noting that his dad
has mentioned it.
Gene Mitchell has mentioned that. First and 10 for the Warriors. Ball on the 49. Handoff. Cox to the left side. Still moving. Gets close to first down yardage before he's taken down. And thought we had an injured Warrior for a second.
He's just a little tangled up. Good for 10 yards and a play for Cox Killing.
As Luke King gets a hand up and goes back to the huddle. You know, officials rule that is a first down for Del Norte.
We've seen this happen in every game so far as the Warriors in such great athletic condition on the front line they just kind of lean on this defensive line, and they've been subbing defensive linemen all game.
Just 9 reserves for Del Norte. Handoff up the middle again on a counter play. That's Cox Cooley, and he'll get it to close to the 35. Blackburn getting his second carry of the night. Chase Blackburn,
the ball carrier,
who had a terrific game last week, 122 yards, if memory serves. Gain of 3 on that one. Second and 7 coming up. Warriors leading 21-0 here early in the third quarter on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard.
Yeah, but you've definitely seen this Trojan line switch in and out, and this Del Norte offensive line is doing great.
Counter play, Blackburn, first down, breaks it to the left, foot race going on the 20, 15, 10, 5, dives to the end zone, touchdown, Del Norte, Chase Blackburn.
Chase Blackburn from 41 yards out, a great counter play off tackle. He got to the second level and busted out one tackle and went to the sidelines. And I loved how the Del Norte defense, you got Caleb Price out there. They just stopped blocking. They didn't want to get a holding call, any block in the back. Let Chase Blackburn head to the pylon, and that's what he did. Dove and hit the pylon to score the touchdown.
Chase Blackburn with back-to-back 41-yard touchdown runs. One last week for a score, one this week, and now here's Kenji Adams-Lee in for the extra point. Slayton's the snapper. Kalea's the holder. Kick is up. Kick is good. And Del Norte takes the opening drive of the second half and marches the length of the field, highlighted by Chase Blackburn from 41 yards out. For Blackburn, that is his 4th rushing touchdown of the year, his 5th overall, thanks to a scoop and score in the 2nd game of the year against Wairika. With 10-11 left, 3rd quarter, it's Del Norte 28 and Petaluma 0.
That touchdown was brought to you by L&L Design and Construction. For home and remodels and new construction, call 707-465-6432. That's L&L Design and Construction.
Del Norte's volleyball team was in Red Bluff today, taking part in a tournament there. I believe they went 1-4 or 1-3.
1-3, but it's a very high caliber tournament over there in Red Bluff that they put on. So the Warriors are going to be battle tested when they come home.
And they will be home on Tuesday night, taking on Brookings Harbor in Tunham Gymnasium. Here's Kenji Adams-Lee with a kick, gives it a high boot, and it's going to bounce at the 5 and eventually go into the end zone. So the Trojans will take over first and something. Did you see a penalty?
No, Kenji just throws his hands up. I love it when it goes to the end zone and Kenji gets all excited over there. Never seen a kicker just so stoked about his kicking performance.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line.
He loves doing it, though.
Warriors leading now 28-0.
Well, they didn't make any positive adjustments in the locker room on defense. Let's see if the Trojans can get something going on offense in the right direction here.
It's hard to get much going when most of the time your quarterback is not getting time to set his feet to throw the ball, thanks to Del Norte's, really the front 8, as the Warriors have been willing to bring linebacker help to put pressure on the Petaluma quarterback, Jack Hartman. Back to passes, Hartman, the right-hander, is going to throw deep down the right side, and it's beautifully tipped away, and they're going to throw 2 penalty flags. One's probably going to be pass interference.
I think the pass interference is going to come against Petaluma.
And then a second penalty flag, which one would assume would be for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Because it looked like Freeman had the position, so it would have had to have been pass interference against Petaluma to come over the back to stop the interception. But then I believe Freeman might have said something to him and got one his way too. Not sure, though. We'll see how it all pans out here.
So the officials are going to confer. From our vantage point, it looked like terrific defense by the senior, Nick Freeman.
Freeman turned his head, had inside position and all. Did a great job down the sideline. It was definitely a go route down the sideline, and Freeman was step for step with him.
So here comes the referee. Pass interference, Del Norte. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Del Norte. Back-to-back 15-yard penalties on the same play.
That's not going to help the Warriors. As the defense, the coaches on the Del Norte side are beside themselves I'm guessing on the call, on the offside, on the
pass interference. I agree with you. From here, it looked like absolutely terrific coverage as Freeman cut underneath and knocked the ball away. If there was contact, it was minimal. And the only thing I can think of is they say he wrapped his arm around him, but
he was on the inside, so he couldn't wrap his arm around him. Unless he pushed off. I'm not sure. It was a long ways away, John.
Anyway, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Petaluma. The ball sitting exactly in midfield on the 50-yard line, right in the middle of the Trojan mascot. First down for Petaluma. Twin running backs split apart. Behind quarterback, blitz comes, handoff, first man through, and getting tripped up is Dante Ratto, but it's going to be good for another first down.
A quick opener up the middle as the Warriors blitzed everybody, and they snuck the fullback right up the middle for 12 yards on the play.
The ball carrier.
We got an update from the Belcan game.
What do we got?
First down, Trojan.
An upset in the making. It's a friendly city as Ferndale leads Fortuna 13-7 with 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
That would be a major upset. 1st and 10 for Petaluma. Warriors leading 28-0. Quarterback Jack Hartman goes under center. He's going to go out to pass. Throws it over the middle. It's hits the receiver right in his hands and then bounces straight up and to the turf as Ryan Sullivan could not bring it in.
He was looking at Gio Gonzalez before he finished catching that ball. Gio was like a rocket coming at him. As he put his hands up to catch it, he turned to look at Gio and ended up losing concentration and dropping the ball. I would like to look back on how far it's been since Ferndale beat Fortuna.
It's been a while. Well,
since Jorgensen
you have to
era.
go back to Jorgensen era.
And before Bimbo.
Coach Kim Jorgensen, the legendary former head skipper at Ferndale, won a number of state titles and over 200 wins in his storied career. 2nd and 10 for Petaluma. Back to pass. Hartman squares. Now he's going to run for his life, and he's not going to get very far. With the tackle for Del Norte, Timmy Thompson.
The great job from the opposite side as you had Kobe Mitchell coming from the outside linebacker to flush him towards Thompson. Loss of 5 on the play.
2nd sack of the night for Thompson.
And Hartman's been sacked 4 times. And probably more than that, he'd barely get it off to a running back.
3rd down and long. Back to pass again. Hartman. And he's sacked again. This time it's sophomore Sam Showerman breaking through and breaking down the Petaluma front line.
The sophomore's getting a belly bump from King in the middle of the field right there. But you know what? Those guys are out there both ways, hands on their hips, just out there battling and having a great time.
So that brings the ball back almost to midfield, and Petaluma's punt team comes on. And going back deep for the Warriors.
Way deep.
I believe that's Blackman.
Blackman?
Nope, it has to be. Blackman is now joining.
Blackburn,
I'm sorry.
That's Cox Cooley back.
Cox Cooley is deep. Here comes the kick from Hartman.
Ooh, that's a good kick.
And Cox Cooley fields it on his 14. Makes the first man miss. Now brings it to midfield. Cuts it back, slips, still on his feet, and finally comes down at about the 27-yard line, which is where Del Norte will take over. They took the first drive of the second half, marched the length of the field, and punched it in to make the score 28-0.
Warriors opposing their will here.
Tim Williams on the coverage.
Center Coast Hospital scoreboard, 7:21 left here in the third quarter. Del Norte leading 28-0.
Warriors trying to go to 4-0. Del Norte went 5-0 last year. And on their way to a 9-3 season. Kalea hands the ball, going to the left side, and brought down after a gain of about 5 for the Warriors.
Great job by Blackburn, right off tackle, picking up about 5 yards on the play. And I really like how Blackburn always waits for his blockers and waits for that play to develop.
Chase Blackburn, who a couple minutes ago had a 41-yard touchdown run. This time he gained 6, and it's going to be fourth and 4. It's going to be 2nd and 4. One receiver comes out wide to the right. That's Price. Hand the ball right up the middle.
Kobe.
That's Kobe Mitchell. He gets past midfield, going down the left side, and gets swung out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Kobe Mitchell.
Mitchell with a long run. Wrestled out of bounds by Luke Rivas.
No flag.
I'm looking for a flag. I don't see one.
We're so good, Sean. That's terrible. No flag on the play. It's good. We're going to be good for 23 yards for Kobe Mitchell. I don't say nothing anymore until it comes out.
Yeah,
the personal foul is going to go against the Trojans, and that's going to be at the end of the run when the play was out of bounds.
I knew there was some sort of penalty, just the way everybody was acting.
I was just happy it wasn't back where the play started. That's where the laundry comes down usually against the Warriors. So that'll push the Warriors deep into Trojan territory down to the 26.
6:37 to go, third quarter. 28-0 on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard. Warriors in front of the Trojans. Non-conference game here at Petaluma High School. Next week we'll stay on the road. We'll be in Klamath Falls as Del Norte takes on the Mazama Vikings. 1st and 10. Handoff, Cox Cooley, left side, takes it up the middle and gets another first down inside the 15. The Warriors in the red zone.
12-yard carry for Cox Cooley. Cox Cooley with 60 yards tonight. Kobe Mitchell with 97 yards after that 23-yard carry. He's only 3 yards away from another 100-yard night.
In Del Norte's 2 of their 3 wins this season, they've had twin runners over 100 yards.
Well on their way to this right now, especially with Blackburn at 60, Cooley with 60, and Mitchell with 90 right now.
Ball placed at the 14. Twin running backs split apart. Back to pass. Fade route for Price. He goes up, and he gets knocked away. And no penalty flag. And Caleb Price is going, if down at the other end of the field, if that was pass interference on Nick Freeman, how could that not be pass interference on me?
Well, the only tough part about that is Price went to get his hands up high, and the Trojan defender just hit his hands down. Definitely a
2nd and 10, ball still at the 14.
I like that throw by OJ, though. It's a quick throw. It's up in the air, a very catchable ball for Caleb Price. He's going to make that play 6, 7 out of 10 times against a smaller defender.
Price, 6'5". Man in motion, gets the ball. Coming around the right side. That is Levi Cox Cooley. And he gets it inside the 5 to about the 4. It's going to be very close to a first down.
Jack Santos on the tackle.
And, in fact, it is a first down for Del Norte. It's going to be 1st and goal inside the 4-yard line. Del Norte leading 28-0 and threatening with 5:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Kalea gets his marching orders, comes to the huddle, looks at his wrist, calls the play. Luke King breaks the huddle, goes under, is the center. Pitches it to Mitchell, left side, lowers his head, goes into the end zone, touchdown. 3rd score of the night for Kobe Mitchell. The Warriors extend their lead.
Gotta love it. Kobe Mitchell, another touchdown and broke the 100-yard mark. Once again, Kobe Mitchell doing a great job from the fullback spot. That's a 5-yard touchdown by Kobe Mitchell. Warriors coming out in the 3rd quarter and dominating both sides of the ball and just clocking in, doing workman's kind of. With only look at it. We have 7 guys on the sideline over there.
In for the extra point. Waiting for the snap. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and the kick is good as well. Del Norte extends its lead. With 5:25 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's Del Norte 35 and Petaluma 0.
That touchdown brought to you by L&L Design and Construction. For home and remodels and new construction, call 707-465-6432. That's L&L Design and Construction.
For Kobe Mitchell, his 7th touchdown run of the season.
John, is that his 3rd? Has he had 100-yard rushes how many games?
He had 100 yards against Moreau Catholic. He had 100 yards against LaSalle. He only had 1 carry against Wairika.
That's right, another 100 yards. So 300-yard games for Mitchell out of 4. Interesting news all across the league, though, the 2 games we have updates on. Eureka and Montgomery are both 0-3. Crazy to see them fall behind to the Vikings. And then to see Ferndale ahead of Fortuna. The tides are changing in the Eel River.
Do you know why Montgomery's 0-3? Because Danny Mays doesn't play for him.
All right, fantastic. Danny Mays. The long-lost guy, I have no idea who it is.
There's the kick, and it takes a crazy bounce and is fielded by Petaluma at the 28, and they'll get it out to about the 35. And
Kenji Adams-Lee's ball has a little life to it.
That thing popped up like it had helium in it.
He's ready for that onside kick.
That was...
If he can start at 1 hash mark and work his way the other way.
That was an amazing bounce. So Petaluma takes over with 5:20 to go in the 3rd quarter, now trailing 35-0 as Del Norte has taken the first 2 drives of the 2nd half and marched the length of the field for scores. Hartman goes under center, twin running backs behind him split apart. Handoff, 2nd man through, and it's thrown back.
And that was Bazil.
And I believe making the tackle for Del Norte was Mitchell.
Offensive line coach down there for Petaluma says, put in somebody who will block.
In the game,
you gotta love it.
In the game for Del Norte in the front line is the sophomore that was brought up a couple of weeks ago, Trevor Freeman, 6 foot 210. He looks bigger than that.
And look at Chase LaFazio out there pacing. He has been getting a lot of time giving Luke King a break on the defensive side, and he puts in some quality minutes, usually in the second half, to give the center a break. Chance LaFazio doing a great job.
We got a timeout on the field as Petaluma wanted to take a look at what they had going. They did not like the look they had. Gives us a chance to say hello to some more Sportscaster Club members, which includes Elk Valley Casino. There is always big game ahead. Hemmingson Contracting for all landscaping, paving, and road construction projects. Del Norte Tire, Barnes family says, our roots are here, not just our branches. H&R Block, get your maximum refund guaranteed. Hambro WSG, recycling, storage, truck repair, and waste removal. That's Hambro WSG. And Harbrook Jewelers, custom jewelry and excellent customer service. Harbrook Jewelry in Brookings.
So taking a look at that first half stats for Petaluma once again, 24 yards of total offense. And here in this quarter, they are 1 yard of offense. So Del Norte continuing the dominance.
And all of that on that one quick hitter.
12 yards, yeah. They're minus 11 other than that.
Second
yards.
and 11 now as Del Norte's defense continues to just be dominant. Handoff on a sweep coming this way, and it's going to be another loss, and the fumble.
It'll be another 3-yard loss.
And coming up slow for Del Norte.
It's a cramp. They're trying to stretch it out already.
Brazil met the backfield.
And that was Tanner Forkner with the tackle, and he's also the one that's slow to get up. And he's looking at his left leg, and they immediately begin stretching the toe in the international signal of cramp. And as we mentioned, at the start of the JV game, it was about 92, 93 degrees.
It's gorgeous out here right now.
At start of the varsity game, it was 86. And right now, our chief meteorologist, John Horner, says that it's 75.
75 degrees out right now. Full moon, harvest moon out there.
On Friday the 13th, but it's only been spooky for the home team, Petaluma. Third down on about 14. Hartman goes under center. He's got two running backs behind him, a single running back out to his right. Hands the ball off, first man through. Making the run is Dante Ratto, and he'll pick up about 3 or so. At the bottom of the pile is Chase Blackburn. Luke King there as well, and it's going to be 40. And a long 10.
Chase Blackburn.
Ball on the near side hash mark, just past the 34-yard line. Cox Cooley goes back. Who has 12?
We're going to try to go with 12. We'll see how it goes.
Del Norte or?
No. The Trojans.
And somebody just realized it. I'm not in on this play. I thought it was on putt coverage.
I was counting the kicker last, and the number 20 is like, uh-oh. That's 12.
Here comes Hartman's punt. High snap, but he gathers it. And he gets off a great punt. It's going to take a terrific bounce. Cox Cooley picks it up, makes one man miss, makes a second man miss, finds his way around one would-be Warrior blocker, and gets it out to about the 44-yard line. About a 30-yard return by the junior.
On the return.
And with 3:08 remaining in the third quarter, Del Norte gets the ball back up 35-0 on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard.
Let's see how much Del Norte keeps the gas on here when it comes to the starters. With all three running backs, with Cox Cooley with 75, Mitchell with 100. Blackburn may see some carries this one. And then, of course, we always get to Kenji Adam Lee time. Looks like starters are still in the game, though.
Price goes out wide to the left. Twin running backs. Back to pass. Throws it to Price. He drops the ball.
My goodness.
Tried to run before he caught the ball. He was at midfield. And it was one of those plays, if he can make the man miss, he was off to the races, but you got to catch the ball first.
He was making that double move already before he caught it. His dad's probably shaking his head up there across the way. I see him standing up over there. But
Del Norte's offensive coordinator from a year ago, Kenny Price. Ethan is at Western Oregon University, where he's playing football. And that's a name I need to add to Warrior Focus.
Absolutely.
2nd and 10. Fakes the pitch and instead is handed off to Mitchell, and he's only going to pick up 1 or 2 this time.
They blew that one up right up the line of scrimmage. We have blitzing linebackers. They're sitting in the house
Kobe Mitchell
right now.
Carrier.
And it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
And Jack Hartman in on that tackle.
Tell you what, Hartman, the Petaluma quarterback, he could play for Del Norte in that he plays both ways, plays hard, and is a leader.
Absolutely, does a great job out there, and you could tell he fires up his troops from every different position, and he plays middle linebacker right there also.
3rd down and 9. Ball on the Del Norte 44. Gonzalez goes in motion, now comes back and sets back up. He gets the ball on a counter play, going around the left side, looking for the first down. He's got it, and he's off to the races. Past the 30. 25 and gets knocked out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. No penalty flags.
No penalty flags. That was from the 50, wasn't it?
It was exactly on the 49.
The ball carrier. Austin Miller forces him out of
So that was going to be a 27-yard run by Gio Gonzalez, and that puts him, he's approaching a 100-yard mark with the 45-yard run and the 27-yard run, and the 5, he's at 77 yards rushing.
1st and 10 for the Warriors at the Petaluma 24-yard line. Warriors up 35-0 here in the final 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter.
What a great counter play right there. And, boy, did you see that burst of speed outside by Gio Gonzalez? Great job by Gio. I always worry Caleb gets himself in some really risky situations out there. He almost could have got called for blocking the back right there. He just needs to just get his hands off.
1st and 10 for Del Norte. Back to pass. Caught by Price. Nice grab, and he's taken down at about the 16-yard line as Caleb Price gets his 5th catch of the season.
Good for 8 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 2. Center Coast Hospital scoreboard's got 1:37 left here in the 3rd quarter. Del Norte leading 35-0
and
here in Petaluma.
The nice thing about that catch by Price was that he was going across the middle. He knew he was going to get hit quickly, but he grabbed it, tucked it, and then took the punishment. 2nd and short. Back to pass. Pump face. Throws. Fade. Trying to hit Price. He's open. Catches it. Touchdown. Del Norte.
Great job. Ethan Price over his back shoulder. Went up at the highest point and caught the ball. Great job. 22-yard touchdown. Pass catch from OJ to Caleb.
For Price, that's his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. For Kalea, his 4th touchdown reception throw.
Pending the extra point, Del Norte leading 41-0 here in Petaluma as they've shocked this home crowd. Back-to-back tough games for the Trojans.
Here's the extra point attempt. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is good as well. Del Norte extends its lead with 1:15 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's 42-0. Del Norte on top.
Extra point is good.
That touchdown brought to you by L&L Design and Construction. For home remodels and new construction, call 707-465-6432. That's L&L Design and Construction.
So just like last week, Kenji Adams-Lee is
perfect.
6 for 6 on extra points. He came into this game 11 for 11.
And we got to give a lot of credit to the snapper and the holder because it's been like routine all the way through in high school football. You don't always see that from a snapper and a holder.
Well, the first game of the season against Murrell Catholic, it was a problem. Both Slayton had a poor snap. He actually had a poor snap on a punt as well, and Adams-Lee went up high and saved what would have been a safety. But since then,
good correction.
Everything has worked like a Swiss watch. Speaking of Kenji Adams-Lee, he's going to get ready to kick off from the 40-yard line.
Beautiful facility here, though.
It really is. And not a huge amount of fans here from Petaluma. It did fill in a little bit from what it was. Back deep is Luke Rivas for Petaluma, but he'll never see a chance at it. Instead, the ball's on the ground and finally covered up by Aliota.
Oh, another flag.
Oh, good. We haven't had one in a few seconds.
Dante Ratto fields it. There's a
holding against the Warriors,
kickoff.
maybe. How do you have holding on the defensive side? We're going to see how that works.
How do you have holding on the defense on a kickoff?
I think that's the call. We're going to find out.
Here comes the white hat with the signal. Personal foul. Del Norte.
Probably holding.
It wouldn't be holding. That's not a personal foul.
Well, unless he held him and threw him somewhere, John. 15-yard penalty. Once again, how many penalties, John?
It's a 15.
For Del Norte, that is the 11th penalty of the night for 60, 90. They're over 100 yards, 105 yards.
Wow, that was quick, John.
4 consecutive games of 100 or more penalty yards. And the Warriors are going to be 4-0. And timeout is called on the field.
Coach LaFazio gets timeout, making sure he's got the right personnel out there. You know, Coach Foz, you don't want to give up no plays right now. He's pretty stubborn.
Del Norte Athletics brought to you by members of the legendary Sportscasters Club, which include England Marine, Fishing, Marine, and Outdoor Equipment. Go Warriors! Park City Superette, the little store, and more. Suburban Propane, their business is customer satisfaction. 1:10 remaining, third quarter, 42-0, Del Norte in front. Next week we are going to be on the road again in Klamath Falls. Remember last time we went to Klamath Falls, I just missed meeting Jamie Farr by just like 90 seconds.
And who's Jamie Farr?
He was Klinger on MASH.
Really?
He was in the bar at the hotel we were staying at. I went down to have a drink and handoff up the middle and gain of a couple on the play. Trevor Freeman there making the tackle for the Warriors.
Good for 1 yard on the play.
Who else did we meet? Oh, yeah, a million bugs.
I know Brazil, the ball carrier.
$1 million. Are you going to take we should take those fishing nets.
I am definitely going to bring insect repellent.
One of those nets over the top?
Last time we were in Klamath Falls, they had a hatch of midges, and it was the shortest post-game show of all time. Pitch play coming this way, trying to find some room and getting some before Caleb Price knocks Joey Alioto out of bounds. But it's going to be a first down for Petaluma.
Good for 9 yards on the play.
Caleb Price.
Marks the ball at the 45-yard line of Del Norte.
First down, Trojans.
They've had 3 plays for positive yards tonight.
And about 3 times that many for negative.
3 times that
Okay, maybe twice as many. Yeah.
3 times.
I'd say 3.
Close. Yeah.
And we'll see if Petaluma can get this play off before the end of the quarter, and they will not. Del Norte tacks on a couple more scores. In fact, 3 of them. And highlighted by Chase Blackburn's 41-yard touchdown run. Del Norte leads 42-0. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this. We're broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. You're listening to Del Norte Sports.
It's time now for the Warrior of the Week. And it's brought to you by Lisa McCowan, State Farm Insurance. Call Lisa when you want great service and State Farm Insurance. And now, the Warrior of the Week.
Your Lisa McCowan State Farm Insurance Athlete of the Week is Danica Scott, a member of the Del Norte High tennis team. The Warriors senior, playing in the number 1 position on the singles ladder, is off to a 2-0 start on the young season. Scott has yet to drop a set in conference victories over North Coast Prep and Fortuna. Lisa McCowan and her team at State Farm Insurance in Crescent City say, great work, Danica. Best of luck to you the rest of the season.
And this has been your Warrior of the Week. And it's brought to you by Lisa McCowan, State Farm Insurance. Call Lisa when you want great service and State Farm Insurance. And that is your Warrior of the Week.
42-0 our score as we start the fourth quarter. John Pritchett, John Horner with you here at Petaluma High School. You're listening to KVOD Crescent City 97.9 and on the internet at delnortesports.com. Not Warriors ball, Petaluma's ball in Del Norte territory at the 45-yard line, 1st and 10. Trojan quarterback Jack Hartman goes under center. He's going to roll out to his left, pitches it, coming around the right side and finding room. Going down the sideline and into the end zone is Dante Ratto from 45 yards out. Petaluma gets on the board on the first play of the fourth quarter.
Dante Ratto.
That was very well executed. Connor Long bit on the inside and didn't have the cover man, the running back. But what a great run by Ratto to the outside. He hit the sideline and nobody was going to catch him. Price had an angle, but he just wasn't quick enough.
And so Petaluma will come in for the extra point after breaking the snide.
Missed assignment on the outside there. Didn't cover the pitch man.
In to kick is Luis Lorenzo. And earlier tonight his field goal was blocked. There's the snap, there's the hold, there's the kick, and it is good. And so with 11:42 left in the ball game, Petaluma finally gets on the board. And it's Del Norte 42, Petaluma 7.
Great job by Petaluma, fighting back right there. Great option play. Little sign of life for the offense for Petaluma. That was very well executed.
That gives us a chance to say hello to those wonderful advertisers and sponsors that make Warrior Athletics possible, including Center Coast Hospital, Lisa McCowan at State Farm Insurance, the Hayuchi Hamlet, L&L Design and Construction, Coast Central Credit Union, Freeman Rock, and Seaquake.
Taking a look at third quarter stats, Del Norte 11 rushes for 154 yards on 11 rushes. 2 of 3 passing for 30 yards. Del Norte is now over 300 yards of rushing. Del Norte's defense held Petaluma in the third quarter. 8 rushes for 11 yards, 0 of 1 passing for 0 yards.
Del Norte's girls tennis team will play tomorrow at home against Ferndale. That's going to be a 10 a.m. start.
2-0 the girls tennis team is in league play.
And Del Norte soccer teams will also play. They won't play tomorrow. I'm sorry. They're going to play on Wednesday at Ferndale.
Squib kick.
And it's going to be taken at the 21-yard line. That's Blackburn?
Cox Cooley.
And he gets it back to the 28. First and 10 for the Warriors, leading 42-7.
See what the Warriors do here. See if they can control a little bit of this clock here on this possession.
Alexander Dotson with the return.
Oh,
Dotson came in the ball game.
By the Trojans.
Great to see Dotson out there returning kicks. Looks like O.J. Kaleha will stay in at quarterback here in the fourth quarter.
Nose of the football touching the 30-yard line, exactly in the middle of the field. And we will have running clock the rest of the way as the officials trying to get the timekeeper's attention. Start the clock. Finally, the timekeeper does so. He's still basking in the glory of his wonderful rendition of the national anthem earlier. Kaleha goes under center. Hands the ball off right up the middle. That's Kobe, and he gets near first down yardage.
9 yards on the carry for Kobe. And we have a lifesaver in the update world. Megan Slayton coming out of nowhere and getting us an update for the St. Bernard's game.
What do you got?
We got halftime. We got a shootout up at LaSalle. St. Bernard's leading LaSalle 37-28.
At halftime?
Halftime.
Wow.
That is a shootout. And taking a look at the Melcan game, we are 6 minutes left in the ball game, and Ferndale still holding on to 13-7 lead.
Somebody wants to take a listen to... No, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. 2nd down and 1. Man coming in motion, gets the ball. That's
Blackburn.
That's Blackburn weaving his way. 1st down, breaks a tackle, lowers his head, still on his feet, gets past midfield before he is brought down. As Chase Blackburn trying to get over 100 yards for the 2nd game in a row.
Good for 12 on that carry. That's going to put him at about 70 yards tonight.
They put the ball exactly on the 40-yard line.
On the tackle.
I'm sorry, the 50-yard line, near side hash mark. 1st and 10 for Warriors.
We have 4 rushers with over 70 yards right now.
Wow.
Gonzalez, Blackburn, Mitchell, and Cox Cooley, all 4 have over 70.
Kalea getting ready to break the huddle. Price goes out wide to the right. Back to pass. Kalea swings it out high, but caught by Price. Gets away from one man going down the right sideline and gets thrown out of bounds. That should be another penalty because he was way out of bounds when he got tackled, and he tells the referee, I'm on the track. But at this point, with Warriors leading 42-7.
And the running clock.
And the penalties will have to be especially egregious.
17-yard reception by Price. He has now, in the second half, has 3 catches for just over 50 yards.
Price came in with 4 in the game, 2 of them for touchdowns. He's got a touchdown tonight.
Running clock here for the Warriors. Just under 9 minutes to play on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard. Del Norte leading 42-7.
Del Norte has dominated, forcing a fumble on the very first play from scrimmage for Petaluma, scoring in the opening couple minutes, and really Del Norte has dominated as timeout is called by the Warriors. 8:32:30, and this time they're going to let the clock run, even though they're not supposed to. And now the officials notice.
Hopefully, are they going to have them put more time back on it?
I doubt it. Next week, we'll be in Klamath Falls. You can listen to the game live on KPOD 97.9 and on DelNorteSports.com. On Monday, you should be able to listen to recast of this game by going to Del Norte Sports and going to the podcast portion of the game. You can also listen to John Horner's Blue and Gold show.
Where this morning I had Coach Clint Shad of the AAA Gold youth football team. We had him in. We were talking youth football, talked a little bit about Del Norte football and about the upcoming wrestling season. So it'll be great to have we'll see what time the varsity team leaves on Friday next week. We'll see if we can get a couple players in.
Youth football will be at Del Norte High at Mike Wellen Field. 4 games this weekend. Kalea will go under center on 1st and 10. Waiting for the snap from Luke King. Puts a man in motion. Hands the ball off to Cox Cooley. Right side, now goes to the middle and gets tripped up. Just as he was starting to accelerate toward the end zone, somebody stuck a foot out, or he hit a foot.
Levi Cox Cooley, the ball carrier.
And it's going to be 1st down for Del Norte.
Great job by Cox Cooley.
They're going to say 9 yards.
Through the line and just, like you said, tripped up as he was excelling. 9 yards on the play. Cox Cooley approaching that 100-yard mark now.
Less than 8 minutes to go in the game. Del Norte in front, 42-7.
77 yards for Cox Cooley.
And Kalea waiting for the clock to keep running. Now he gets under center, puts a man in motion, hands the ball off. That is Chase Blackburn, and he'll pick up about 5 before he gets brought down inside the 20 to about the 18.
Chase Blackburn.
Great job by Blackburn right there. Going off tackle. Him and Cox Cooley do a great job on both sides of running the ball. They come in motion. It's a quick handoff. Leaning on the rail over there, John.
I'm holding on to it.
You're doing a great job, buddy.
We are on top of the press box here at Petaluma High School.
I'm up here dancing, John. Am I making you nervous?
No, yes. You're causing it to move. 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Hands the ball off. Cox Cooley moving, weaving, dodging, and gets down to near the 10-yard line. Team's leading rusher is just gashing what has to be a bit of a dispirited Petaluma team, which lost 59-0 last week to Foothill.
92 yards for Cox Cooley. Oh, no, that wasn't. That was definitely Cox Cooley. 92 yards for Cox Cooley right now. Del Norte doing a great job opposing their will up front. Under 7 minutes left to play here in the ball game. 6:20 on the Center Coast Hospital scoreboard. Del Norte leading 42-7.
Del Norte won last week 42-7 over LaSalle. The week before that, it was a 60-point victory. Counter play. That is Blackburn, and he stumbles backwards in the end zone. Touchdown, Chase Blackburn with his second touchdown, however.
Cox Cooley, I think. We do have a penalty, too.
Penalty flag on the play. Illegal shift on the offense.
Wah, wah, wah. Legal shift, that's a 5-yard penalty, correct?
That is correct, sir.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Scratch the touchdown.
No touchdown by either Blackburn or Cox Cooley. Not the best lit field we've ever seen.
No.
Not as bad as Wairika.
The only way you can really tell, they both run about the same. Cox Cooley's a little bit bigger around the chest than Blackburn is. It's about the only way you can tell the difference.
That and the big numbers on their chest, except they're not that big.
They're not that big.
And we are a long ways away. So here we go. 2nd down. In motion. Handoff. Definitely Cox Cooley this time. Same play as before. Spinning, driving, and will get inside the 5.
He just wanted a couple more yards there. That's good for 13 yards in the play for Cox Cooley.
That's good for another Warrior first down, and it will be 1st and goal for Del Norte. And they'll place the ball just past the 5.
If my numbers are correct, that's 95 yards on 13 carries for Cox Cooley.
So if Cox Cooley can get the ball into the end zone.
This has been Mitchell territory every time down the field. We'll see what happens here.
Mitchell is in the backfield. Cox Cooley goes in motion, and then whistles blow. And
Penalties.
Delay of game. Boy, that seemed like a very quick delay of game.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the ball game as the Warriors try to extend their lead at the Trojan 10-yard line. You said Vikings one time, and I keep wanting to do it now.
You did it
All
too,
your
yeah.
fault.
Well, purple uniforms.
Blaming it on you.
We'll play the Vikings next week. Handoff, Cox Cooley right side, now weaves the other way, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Levi Cox Cooley. He's got his 100 yards, and he's got the touchdown for Del Norte, his second of the evening.
What a job by the Warrior offensive line once again, producing multi 100-yard rushers for the Warriors. Cox Cooley with another fantastic game, 13 carries for 105 yards so far for tonight.
3:34 left in the contest, and Kenji Adams-Lee out for the extra point. No, that's Gio Gonzalez is going to be out there for the extra point. Gonzalez 5 of 6 this year on PATs, and he is now 6 for 7.
That touchdown brought to you by L&L Design and Construction. For home and remodels and new construction, call 707-465-6432. That's L&L Design and Construction.
Warrior Athletics brought to you by the legendary Sportscasters Club, which includes Center Coast Hospital. Center Coast Hospital is here for your care. More John, Napa Auto Parts Store. Count on More John to get you back on the road fast. Griffin's Furniture, quality furniture at unbeatable prices. I can attest to that. Main Street Skate and Beaches Boutique, skate shop, jewelry, gifts, and apparel in Brookings. Redwood Hotel Casino. Visit Yurok Country Hotel, Restaurant, Casino, jet boat tours, and more. Crescent City Glass. If it's glass, they work with it. Serving you since 1947. Curry Equipment, your one-stop shop for power equipment, Crescent City and Brookings. Suburban Propane, their business is customer satisfaction. And Park City Superette, the little store, and more. Welcome to the Sportscasters Club, Park City Superette.
The little store and more. I like it.
3:34 to go here in the contest. 49-7. Delaware in front, well on its way to a 4-0 start on the 2019 campaign.
Gio's going to get to kick off, too.
So the senior lines it up, and Del Norte was offside.
Another penalty.
By quite a bit.
John.
Another penalty.
Plenty of laundry.
That is number 14.
How many does Petaluma have? They've won that game.
Yes, Petaluma, I've got them with 2.
Offside from the kicking team. They'll be at 5
They've won that game.
But they are both 15-yard variety.
3:34 here left in the ball game as Del Norte's well on their way to coming down to Sonoma Valley and getting a big win.
On Tuesday, make sure you are at Tunham Gymnasium as Del Norte's volleyball team will play host to Brookings Harbor.
Try to revenge their loss in Brookings last week.
Here's Adams Lee, and that one probably could have been called offside as well, but no flag. Instead, the ball wanders its way aimlessly out of bounds for another penalty, but not one I think that the Warrior coaching staff is going to get too upset about.
Clock running, 3:30 left here in the ball game.
As Del Norte's defense, with the exception of 1 or 2 plays, including the 45-yard run by Dante Ratto for the lone touchdown tonight for Petaluma, Del Norte's defense has just dominated this
So
game.
he had a 45-yard run in the fourth quarter, a 34-yard run in the second quarter, and a 12-yard run in the third quarter, and that is it, John. Everything else was minus yards and maybe 1 or 2.
2 receivers go out wide to the left. Hartman with twin running backs split apart behind him. Hands the ball off, kicks it out to the right side, and is quickly swallowed up, making the play for the Warriors.
Dante Ratto, the ball carrier. Mike Whelan.
Good for 2 yards.
36, Mike Whelan.
Whelan in the ball game. Get some action outside linebacker. Actually out there at cornerback playing for Freeman out there. Connor Long at outside linebacker. Whelan out here out at cornerback.
Second down and about 9. Pitch play going to the left this time, turns the other way, and it's going to be a loss on the play as once again Del Norte was in the backfield. Making the play for the Warriors was Sam Showerman.
Showerman did a great job and did a great job on the outside of turning him in. Was Kobe Mitchell doing a great job at turning him in. Loss of 2.
Less than 2 minutes to go. Loss of 2 on the play. Ball's back at the 39. Warriors won their season opener 20-19 over Moreau Catholic down in the Bay Area. Whipped Wairika 60-0. Won last week 42-7. Counter play, and that does not work at all.
He's going to squirt forward for a couple, though. That was number 7 on the carry.
As Connor Long makes the tackle for Del Norte.
Good for 3 yards on the play.
And it's going to be 4th down, and let's call it 5. Ball at the 43.
Situation where you can probably go for it here, John.
You want to make sure you stay with us for the Freeman Rock postgame report. We're going to have stats. Hopefully, Coach White will be able to make it all the way up here. He's in good shape, so he can climb those stairs.
He can jog, too.
Ball's on the ground. It's loose. Mazama is able to jump on it. No, Mazama.
We're thinking about next
we're
week
already. Petaluma jumps on it, but that's fourth down. Del Norte will take over, and that will probably be the last play of the game, as Del Norte makes the 5.5-hour road trip to Petaluma and is going to walk away with a 49-7 victory. Another impressive outing for the Warriors.
That will end the game.
As Del Norte improves to 4-0 on the season.
You know, I was expecting a big win for the Warriors tonight, but I thought it would be a little more battle-tested than it was. Man, it's hard not to say the Warriors look in great form right now, mid-season. Hats off to Coach White. What a fantastic job he's done so far with this Warrior team. They executed at a very high level when it comes to offense and defense. Clean up them penalties, but I tell you what, this team's ready to go. Always going to be the question, though, only shooting 20. How long can they keep up this pace? Is still up in the air.
We'll be back with the Freeman Rock postgame show. After this, we're broadcasting live with Warrior Pride. You're listening to Del Norte Sports.
It's time now for the postgame show, and it's brought to you by Center Coast Hospital, Iuchi Hamlet, Lisa McCowan State Farm Insurance, L&L Design and Construction, Coast Central Credit Union, and Freeman Rock. We'll be back right after this.
Freeman Rock is your complete source for landscaping products, including topsoil and soil amendments. Buying your products in bulk is the most economical and ecologically friendly. And Freeman Rock also delivers. Freeman Rock is open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday by appointment. Freeman Rock has supplied our communities with quality ready-mix concrete, sand, and gravel, and now landscaping supplies since 1976. Check out our new updated interactive website, freemanrock.com, or call 469-2444.
The Hiuchi Hamlet, nestled in the Redwoods by the Smith River, is your store of convenience. Whether you're spending the day at the river swimming, fishing, hiking, camping, or just taking a leisurely drive, Hiuchi Hamlet has everything you need, from hot snacks, cold beverages, and groceries to fishing tackle and gas. Stop in to see what kind of goodies you can find whenever you're nearby. Hiuchi Hamlet, proud supporters of the Del Norte Warriors.
Life can change in a heartbeat. A traffic accident, a sports injury, a heart attack or stroke. Suddenly, your world turns upside down. When you need attention quickly, turn to Sutter Coast Hospital's 24-hour emergency room. Skilled emergency doctors and nurses here offer compassionate and immediate care. Located in Crescent City, right off Highway 101, turn to Sutter Coast Hospital, serving the North Coast region for more than 30 years.
When you choose L&L Design and Construction, it's a game changer. They can do it all. New home construction, remodels large or small, garages and manufactured home site development. They're local, reliable, and love this community. When it comes to design and construction, choose the LaFazio family and L&L, proud supporters of the Del Norte Warriors. Start planning for spring today. Call 707-465-6432, license number 931605. It's time now for the postgame show, and it's brought to you by Center Coast Hospital, Hiuchi Hamlet, Lisa McCowan State Farm Insurance, L&L Design and Construction, Coast Central Credit Union, and Freeman Rock. And now, here's John and Mad Dog.
Welcome back to the Freeman Rock postgame report. The Warriors of Del Norte improved to 4-0 season with a 49-7 win here at Petaluma High School. John Pritchett, John Horner with you. And Mad Dog, this was an impressive win for the Warriors after another 5.5-hour road trip.
Woo-hoo. Anytime you can come down here to the Santa Rosa area and pick up a big win, a big North Coast section win, and dominate a game like the Warriors did. What a great job by the Warriors, and an impressive outing here down here in Petaluma.
Let's take a look at the scoring summary. And Warriors started off with a bang, recovering a fumble on the first play from scrimmage, and turning that into a Kobe Mitchell 1-yard run with 10-12 to go in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Del Norte. That was the way it stood after one. In the second quarter, here on Friday the 13th and a full moon, as Mitchell scored his second TD of the night, this time from 8 yards out, and it's 14-0 midway through the third quarter. Warriors extended that with 6:10 to go as Levi Cox-Cooley punched it in from 5 yards out. And then, well, that was the way it was at halftime. The third quarter, Del Norte scored on its first two possessions, putting together long drives. The first one highlighted by Chase Blackburn's 41-yard touchdown run, and then Kobe Mitchell, his third touchdown of the night, this time from 5 yards out, and it's 35-0. Price then hauled in a 22-yard touchdown pass from O.J. Kalea with 1:15 left in the third quarter. It was 42-0 going into the fourth. Petaluma got on the board when Dante Ratto scored from 45 yards out on a run. It's 42-7, and then with 3:34 remaining in the game, Levi Cox-Cooley, his second touchdown of the night, this time from 10 yards out. The extra point was good, and that was our final score, 49-7. Kenji Adams-Lee with 6 extra points that were good, and then Gio Gonzalez kicking the 7th for the final point of the night. 49-7, the Warriors go 2-4-0.
The coach is he's a runner.
Yeah, he's going to get up there. He's out of breath. We got.
I'm going to go stats here for a little bit.
Stats.
I'll give him a little chance to get warmed up. Yeah, I've never seen Coach run this. He just keeps running, John.
Well, he's a little faster than Coach Nova was last year. Just a tad.
Yeah, not much, though. Coach Nova can get moving. I've seen him go. But anyways, let's take a look at Petaluma. This is going to be quick stats, right, John?
Yeah, this won't take
24 rushes for 81 yards. Like I said, 80 of that coming all on 3 plays. 1 of 6 passing for -1 for a total of 80 yards of offense for Petaluma. On the Del Norte side, once again, another amazing performance by the Warriors. 39 rushes, 373 yards of rushing for the Warriors, 6 of 11 passing for 68 yards. That gives them a total of 441 yards of offense. And once again, the offensive performance when it comes to the running backs. Cox-Cooley, 14 carries for 105. Mitchell, 15 carries for 112. Blackburn, 6 carries for 74. Gonzalez, 3 carries for 77. We have Caleb Price, 3 catches for 47 yards. And once again, the Warriors, 373 yards of rushing on 39 carries. Very impressive effort by the Warriors.
And joining us here is the head coach of the Del Norte Warriors, the one and the only Nick White, as Del Norte captures a 49-7 victory on the road at Petaluma. Del Norte goes to 4-0 on the season. First off, do not take a step back, because it's straight down to the parking lot.
Yeah, it was a long way up here.
Coach, congratulations. Another nice win for the Warriors.
Yeah, it was a great team effort. I thought we came out slow in the first half on offense, and that was due to the penalties. It's kind of just mental mistakes got us, but our defense led all game. That was, the main thing for us was our D coming in. We knew what they're going to do. We knew how to stop it, and we knew our kids were up to the task.
Your front 8, your linemen and your linebackers were absolutely dominant. Petaluma's quarterback, Jack Hartman, every time he went back to pass, he was running for his life.
Yeah, those guys are so good up front. They get after it. They play hard all the time, every single play, whether we were stopping them in the, running the veer or when he went and passed it. So we definitely got a lot of hits on him, and I think he'll be one of Ice's body tonight for sure.
For sure. And then terrific balance on offense. All your running backs, 4 different running backs with over 75 yards. That's right out of the book.
Yeah, we can't get any. It don't get no better with balance. All those kids play a significant role with. They each have their own attributes they bring to the table, and we find ways to get them the ball. And those guys, all of them run super hard, and you can't get better balance than that.
4 consecutive games without a turnover. Every coach in America is going, oh boy, if we could have that. We would love that.
Yeah, it gives yourself a great chance to win every single time you win the turnover battle. So, and then, he continued it tonight. We had a couple scares here and there, but we got on the lucky end of a couple plays and avoided it again, which is awesome. We'll try to keep it going.
So, back to the road next week. You go to Klamath Falls for Mazama, one of the better programs in the state of Oregon. They're a 4A school. And that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, it's going to be tough going there. We get to play on their home turf, which is cool. We like being on the road. You take the challenge of it, and it adds extra adversity for the kids, and it's challenging, but they thrive on that. So Mazama, they are they run the ball, so it'll be another running team. And then I believe they're ranked like 4th in 4A, so it'll be. And I just told the kids, great win, and we have a challenge next week, and they're pumped up about it. We're excited about next week.
What's going to be the theme for next week in terms of just not so much X's and O's, but just the mindset you want this team to have getting ready for the Vikings?
Right, that's it. It's just, they're going to try to run the ball on us. They're a higher-ranked team in Oregon, so that's a challenge in itself, and we get to go play on their home turf, so it doesn't get any better. Lots of adversity headed our way, and we will be ready to go. So
I got to be. The good news is you reduced the number of first-half penalties. You had 8 for 60. In the end, you ended up over 100 yards for a straight game. Once again, eventually that's going to come back to bite you.
It will, and we need to clean it up, and we got to figure out something. So it's a frustrating part of the game. Some of the stuff is just our kids play hard and they play rough, and the other team don't like it too much. So we're very physical, and I think the referees. No, I don't know if they've seen a team like us where we're super physical and we're trying to block people to the ground every single play. We're relentless.
From our vantage point on the pass interference penalty on Nick Freeman.
Yeah.
From here, it looked like an absolute perfect play.
It doesn't get any better. That's what I told him. I was like, you can't have better coverage. You got one hand on the ball, which he almost picked it off one-handed. He goes up and plays the ball. He's facing the ball, and the guy's on his back. So it's. I have a grade card for the referees, and I don't.
We won't talk about that. I'm moving on.
Be favorable for them,
Coach. Another great win. Congratulations, 4-0.
All right,
and we'll see you next Friday in Klamath Falls.
Yeah,
and hopefully we will not have the insect infestation that we had a few years ago there.
Oh yeah, hopefully not. But yeah, it'll be fun. Looking forward to it. Hi, Julie, Bella, Reese, and Remy. Love you guys. Thank you for listening, guys. We appreciate it. Bye.
You heard it. That's Coach Nick White of the undefeated Del Norte High School Warriors, who improved to 4-0 on the season with a 49-7 victory over Petaluma. Mad Dog, you have any final thoughts before we wrap it up for the evening?
Well, I was trying to get some updates as we wrapped it up. We got Ferndale beating Fortuna in the Milk game, 13-6.
Wow.
No new update from the St. Bernard's game, but we did have update. Lower Lake blew out McKinleyville. Looks like St. Bernard's ball is up 45-35. They just fumbled the ball and turned it over, so game not over yet, but it's a shootout up at LaSalle. We'll see what happens. And I knew Coach Tomlin's going to put up points, but the question was LaSalle going to be able to score points with them, and it looks like a shootout. Right. It was like 50 points at halftime.
And we thought that LaSalle would play much better this week than they did last week in Del Norte's domination of them 42-7. The final thoughts about this game, Del Norte winning 49-7.
Great win for the Warriors, once again, and I think this is going to turn some heads down here. Not just coming away with a win, but a dominating performance on both sides of the ball. This is a bigger school. This is a Division IV. We're Division V. School that is in a tough league. There's going to be a lot of comparisons and scores and matchups when it comes to this game, and it's going to be very favorable for Del Norte. Trip to Moreau Catholic, big win. Trip to Petaluma, big win. Got to have these kind of wins down in this area to make sure you bode well for North Coast section seeding. So great win for the Warriors.
We'll be on the road next week in Klamath Falls taking on the Mazama Vikings. That's going to be a 7 o'clock start again, which means the Warrior pregame show will be at 6:30. Then Del Norte will return home on September 27th. That's going to be homecoming as Fortuna comes to Crescent City and Mike Willen Field for a non-conference battle. Once again, our final score tonight, Del Norte captures a 49-7 win in Petaluma over the Trojans. A big thank you for Mike O'Brien back at the studio doing double duty today. For General Manager Larry Tempe, for President Mike Wilson, and the entire Bicoastal Media family, thank you so much for listening. And remember, you can hear a rebroadcast of this game on Monday, starting on Monday at DelNorteSports.com. Our score, one more time, Del Norte 49 and Petaluma 7. For John Horner, I'm John Pritchett. We'll be with you next Friday, 7 o'clock kickoff, 6:30 for the pregame show from Mazama High in Klamath Falls. Good night, everybody. Please drive safely, and may God bless.
You've been listening to the Del Norte Warrior Game of the Week.